recording. Okay, perfect.
He's probably just eating.
Hello, cat. I love
Now
you.
I'm hungry
I've
again.
already given you your dinner. I don't know why you're bothering me, friend. Listen, you're very cute. You've already eaten, and you're fully topped off on food and water, so I don't know what you want from me.
Your undivided attention.
That's probably what it is. That's probably what it is. Oh boy. Alright, so ambiance, playing, notes pulled up. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't know what that would be.
Is everybody here?
Oh, I guess, yeah, we're waiting on... I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I guess we're just waiting on person.
Well, they're there.
Oh, a person's here, but...
I've got a lot going on right now, so
Ah.
I'm just muted, but I'm here.
Okay. Alright. Alright. Awesome. So, who would like to give me a quick recap of last session, despite having a wonderful audio recording from none other than the fabulous, the wonderful Joe. But who would like to give me a little recap of what happened last time? Any takers? Going once, going twice?
I know that everything fell apart when Jack left.
That is true. But that was to be expected. You know, I mean, like as you know, the omniscient god of this world, I could have told you that was going to happen. I mean, really, the group is nothing without Jack. It's kind of depressing, but you know, it's whatever.
Our fearless leader.
That's right.
Didn't we destroy a man's house?
You did destroy a man's house.
Yes, you did.
They did destroy a man's house.
I don't know what he's kicking up a storm about. It's an illusion. He can just make a brand new one.
Well.
Oh no! What if it was his house?
Well, then he should have been more honest. So, lesson learned for him.
I guess. I don't know. Felt a little brutal to me in the moment, but here we are. Here we are, indeed.
I did not think it would cause that much damage.
He had his chance, so...
Yeah.
All right.
Like what Finch said, you know, we have low
ruthless.
impulse control.
He had his chance. And now he pays.
I guess, Jesus. So, yes, you guys destroyed a man's house, and it refused his generous offer for breakfast, and really, until you guys spied on him, he seemed like a stand-up bloke.
I don't know. He
Murderous
seemed kind
vibes?
of... He seemed a little too into his paw, if you ask me.
Well,
Not Paul.
But my paw.
my paw. My
Alva
puppy.
said he had malicious intent, so it's not that he was completely, you know, on the up and up from the beginning.
Well, whatever you think,
He was on something.
So, yes, you guys...
That's all we did last session was just...
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think if there was anything else.
Vesper did have a talk with Finch about what she learned and how she really wanted to trust that hag.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, and then you guys ate fruit.
No, wait, someone's cursed.
Ava's
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hey, yeah. I've got that in my notes right here. I've got to scroll up, but I do have that.
It's a blood curse.
And I don't know if Helio or anyone has any more spells left to try to dispel Ava, but we were talking about Ava, like, sleeping as a hedgehog, or not a hedgehog, something gopher that can burrow under the ground, and Liddy said that she was going to sleep with Ava if he did that.
Yeah, the gopher strategy, so that if they try to scry on us, they can't see anything.
Go first.
But how far could you, like, make your circle and then just bury yourself straight down from the circle so you're, like, still technically within the circle? Does it work that way?
I could check, but I think it said it's a sphere. Let me see.
Oh, like a full sphere.
Yeah, it's a sphere, so I'd assume that the most I can go is 30 down.
That's still pretty good.
So I think we were between that or just like Alba goes like a mile off from the group, so that if it's like a location known thing, they don't know where the rest of the group is. And then being a gopher some number of feet underground would protect him from being hit in his sleep, I guess, by them.
As far as we know, we don't know exactly what this blood magic does.
Yeah,
I don't think any of us rolled high enough to see if we actually knew what blood magic is and how it works.
yeah, I was gonna specify, like, if I am sleeping underground as a gopher, 1000% hollowing out the ground, so that if something happens and gopher form takes damage and I turn into a human, I am not crushed.
Man, the things you hear sometimes when you play this game. Man, gopher form, huh? Underground.
Dude, I had my players turn into whales and jump off the side of a crashing ship.
Hey, that's good. That's very good.
Why whales?
Well, one
Why
was
not?
an orca, one was a blue whale.
Damn.
They're the
But,
only
like-
ones with polymorph, though.
Why not like goldfish?
Seahorses.
They had to give the other guys a ride.
I feel like a dolphin could make a nice aerodynamic splash.
That is true, yeah.
I'm
Dolphin.
gonna say that from now on. Why not goldfish?
It just makes me think of this time in another game. We had made a deal with the devil to get some amount of free time questions answered truthfully. And we had run out of questions, and in interest of not destroying our DM's game because he misunderstood them, we started asking the stupidest questions, which led to
As one should do.
one of our players very insistently, so how many goldfish are there in the world? Do you know or do you not?
That's when you ask, like, you know, those, like, you ask, like, is cereal a soup type of deal? You know, you ask those kinds of
Oh
Oh my
questions.
god.
You just
It's not
infuriate.
It's not hot, so it's not a soup. Soup
But
is
what
only
about
cold.
cold soups?
There's cold soup.
There is
You guys
cold
are-
soup.
You guys are messing with me. There's no cold. Like for real?
Yes,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
cold soup, bud.
Wait, soups that are like made to be cold? Like
Yeah.
that's a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's tons of
Like
them.
summer soups that are cold.
Yeah.
What? I'm googling. Hang on a second.
Have you never had
Summer
cucumber soup?
The hell
Oh,
is
yeah,
a
cucumber
summer
soup.
soup? 20
Isn't there,
best
like, a
summer
cold,
soup
like, pea
recipes.
soup?
What the fuck? What?
Gazpacho.
Gazpacho.
There you go. That's what it is.
Gazpacho with runner bean tempura and pickled coriander
Isn't
seeds.
there
Oh
like
my
cold
god!
soba or something as well?
Oh yeah.
Well,
I
that's
make
like
that all the time.
noodles.
Chilled lemon
Yeah.
basil avocado soup.
Cold somen
That
noodles
sounds kind of good,
or
not gonna lie.
naengmyeon in Korea, the cold noodles in Korea. Vinegar noodles, those are good.
I'll stick to my ramen, thank you. My
ramen.
instant ramen.
I think I'm going to define soup as whether or not broth is at play,
Is milk?
and I don't think milk is broth.
Oh, then I was gonna say, yeah, that immediately begs the follow-up question: is milk broth? And
mean,
that's a question
you don't
I don't
need
ever
to-
want to hear ever
The
again.
cereal doesn't need milk.
What are you making cereal with?
I mean, technically, anything that's cereal's a food, but like, it's not specifically necessary for something
Hank
to be cereal.
Green, Hank Green
with
eats it
milk.
with water. He tells us all about it all the time on his wonderful, wonderful TikToks that he occasionally forces down my throat.
Whoa, that's disgusting.
I mean, that's fair, but water is also not broth. So
I mean,
There's also
it
a-
has to be broth in some soup somewhere, right? Like,
There's also a difference between broth and stew.
Or stock.
Yeah.
Stock is- yeah.
I used to live on stock, man. That was my jam.
what?
Yeah, I just like warm it up and eat. Just like I would drink that, and that would be my
Ooh.
food.
Okay, well, anyways,
days.
anywho, Anywho, good to know that we're all doing fantastic, and that nobody here has any long-standing problems that they should talk to a therapist about. All good. All good to know. All amazing. Amazing. So, now that we are 100% problem-free without any other issues that we need to discuss, let's jump right into it. Let's hop right in. And let me bring you guys to the correct map. You're already on the correct map. Look at me. So good. Such a good DM. You guys can thank me later.
We're on a map.
You are on a map. You should be, hopefully.
I have a black screen.
Oh, mine just went black too.
Uh-oh.
It
I
just
have
went black.
screen.
Let's try again.
Oh, I just got kicked out.
Kicked out? Oh no!
Oh, I'm back. We're good.
20, what's up?
There we go.
When has Roll20 ever worked?
Yeah.
I don't think it ever has. But
Brah.
you guys are, if I remember correctly, let me delete all these numbers, because I was trying to count how many days you guys have been in this world for at last in between sessions, and I have a bunch of numbers on my map. So that I could mark down where you guys have been at what days. And I'm just going to delete those because I don't need that anymore. Alright, you guys are, if I remember correctly, about like right here. Right about there. About 10 miles out. Yeah, like right somewhere over here-ish.
Mm.
And you guys are setting up a camp for the night. Blah, 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 blah. This ambiance actually fits surprisingly well, then.
Yeah, it's very campy.
Very campy ambiance. Let's see. And Liddy, before she is going to go, I guess, AFK during this session, blessed you guys with a very long spell that essentially protects the area around you guys. Like, with tons and tons of crazy shit. And it makes it, you know, very, very, very pretty, very magical. With, like, fairies dancing about and, like, vines creeping everywhere. It's very nice. It's good. And you
I know
feel...
one fairy that's not dancing.
I guess, yeah. And... yeah, you guys are very thoroughly protected in a nice little fairy grove, and you are overlooking Barge Right Inn. And as I see it, there's a lot of things that need to happen before the next day happens. So, I will get my nonsense out of the way, and then I'll let you guys get to your nonsense. So, we ended last session asking if Harshnag could get in touch with... what's her name?
Maxine.
Maxine, yes. If she could, like, tell you guys some information about Barge Right Inn and any of the people you've met so far. And after a brief conversation with Harshnag, Harshnag will report back the following information. Maxine, she does not know anything about, like, so the Zentarum takeover of Barge Right Inn, and to a lesser extent, Womford, happened several years back after a string of victories against powerful enemies of the Zentarum in the north. But as of yet, most high-ranking members of the Lord's Alliance, both in Waterdeep and in Neverwinter, don't really see fit to do anything. Barge Right Inn and Womford are both kind of... like, out of the way, kind of, they've been struggling for several years, and, you know, they're both far enough away from, like, the major centers of power in the area that people just have kind of let the Zentarum take over these areas. They're not important enough to spend people taking them back. Music Fred is struggling a little bit, which is a little scary. Currently, all that she would know about it is that the Zentarum have turned it into a heavily defended outpost, which carries out some of their more, like, criminal, like they're more criminal activities, like the stuff that like you wouldn't want to like talk about in like Waterdeep or Neverwinter, you know. Like if you're trying to like assassinate somebody, you'd go to Bardright Inn and meet with the people there. It's kind of like a hub for more criminal activities rather than like the like standard bodyguard type fare that the Zentarum try to put forward as their good face.
Question?
Yes.
When we first encountered the Zentharum in this game, Helio rolled really high
Yes.
to know who they were. Would he know this?
Yes, yeah, you would know about this. You would know about this. You would know. And I would say, since you rolled really well on that check, I would say that you would also know, that... I'm trying to think about what I want to tell you and what I don't want to tell you. I'll get back to that.
Okay.
So you asked if there was any information on an Eric Stillmarsh, and she will report back that she has no idea who the fuck Eric Stillmarsh is, and that just sounds like some random nobody from nowhere that she doesn't know. Then you asked about the weirdly dressed lady, who seems to be like some powerful magic user. She'll just report back that she would need a little bit more about them than fancily dressed magic lady. She might need a name or something, because as of yet, with just a name and a general description, there's very little she can do. She'll in her discussion with Harshnag, you'll hear you'll hear her voice get very excited when he mentions blood magic to her. And this, you can hear like a big, like almost like a crack in her voice, and she's very excited. And she tells that like recent rumors and legends speak of a vampire named the Wamford Bat, who is supposedly this charming kind of young devil type who flies around the countryside of Wamford and Bardright Inn and lures travelers and, you know, people like caravaneers and other like traders to Wamford. And once they get there, they generally meet some unknown fate. And the city of Wamford, part of the reason it's been struggling is because of this reputation. And, you know, since there's, like, you know, this known vampire kind of hanging out in the area, traders try to avoid it. And it has led to Wamford being seen as kind of a backwater, essentially. But since Wamford was kind of a small backwater town, and Bardright Inn was taken over by the Zentarum, nobody felt like it was worth, again, spending the people and like the man hours to track this guy down and kill him. So he's just been guaranteed free reign. Currently, so you didn't ask her about Kella Darkhope and Zolkon of the Zentarum. She'll say that, like, the Zentarum did seem kind of in a stir recently, and their loss might have been what caused that. But as far as she knows, that would only be a minor setback. And the rumor has it, like, rumor on the streets is that the Zentarum are planning something much bigger. But rumors are different as to what that might be. And poor Noxine, she does not have any eyes or ears in the criminal underworld of Waterdeep, so she would have no idea. And who is Roderick Hilltopple? Again, some lowly nobody from the middle of the countryside. No idea who that is. So that is all the answers to the questions that you asked her. If there's any further questions, let me know.
I don't have anything, if anybody else does.
And before I let you guys loose to discuss things amongst yourselves, Helio, the only thing I'll say that you would know about the Zentarum that maybe others might not, is the aforementioned rumors. You've heard that, so the Zentarum have had, you know, they have grand ambitions of taking over, you know, like bigger cities eventually, and eventually becoming like a major power, like a kingdom of sorts, with like on the Sword Coast. And not only have you heard about their plans to take over the city of Phandalin, up near Neverwinter, but you have also, I will say, recently, I don't know how you would have heard this. I guess maybe when you guys were in Waterdeep, you may have heard this, but you may have heard a rumor that the Zentarim have plans to they're trying to work out a deal with a red dragon to take over a giant airship. But you wouldn't know anything about the giant airship or the red dragon. You just know, oh yeah, that's something that they might be trying to do. But that's just a rumor. Just a rumor.
They're trying to take over the airship?
Take over the airship peacefully or by force. But other than that, you guys are just camping out in the wilderness. And I will let you guys take it from there.
Okay. So before we go to bed, with all this information that we got, is it really safe to say then that whatever this Womford bat vampire thing is, was Eric? I mean, he was luring us to go to Womford.
There is blood magic at play.
Does anybody know anything about vampires enough to know their abilities with blood magic?
Would Finch from General Studies?
I would say Finch might know something. Finch can roll me an Arcana or History check to see if she might know something, anything about vampires.
Please, D&D gods, I have a +9.
Hey! I would say, well, what kind of information are you trying to think about vampires? Are you looking for, like, how to kill a vampire, you know, like, general strategies of vampires, whether or not this Womford bat probably is, your guy, Eric Stillmarsh? What kind of information are you looking for?
Yeah, kind of, would this guy kind of fit that profile?
I would say, charming young lad, trying to get you guys to Womford, while also being incredibly secretive as to his reasons why he wants you to go there. I mean, like, if that's not vampire, I mean, with, like, charming magic, I mean, if that's not vampire activity, I don't know what is. And the fact that, after your encounter with him, after, like, the encounters you've had with him, some amongst your group have been cursed with some kind of blood magic, that only kind of seals the deal a little bit. That this guy was almost certainly some kind of vampire, or at least like a vampiric thrall, working for the Womford Bat. But yeah, that's what I'll tell you guys. That's what I'll say.
Convey that to the rest of the group. Yeah, that guy, vampire would fit pretty well.
Well, would you know what his blood magic would have done to, or did to us?
With that history check, I would say, despite Finch's best, I guess, like, you know, despite everything Finch knows, it would be pretty difficult to determine anything. I would say the most Finch would know is that, generally speaking, when it comes to, like, blood magic type things, generally it allows a vampire to kind of, like, gain a better, I guess, like more easily take hold or control of somebody, you know, like, of people around them, you know.
Easier for them to calm them with their personality and words and stuff like that.
Exactamundo.
Okay. So we don't have to worry too much then about being possibly detectable in terms of location, I'm assuming?
Oh, and then the only other thing I'll say is that you would also know that every single, like blood magic is, like, blood magic kind of, like, spell and, like, you know, how it's cast and how it's done. It varies greatly from vampire to vampire and from, like, vampire clan to vampire clan, so it's very difficult to, like, determine one, like, what effect it could have, you know? Some vampires could like use it to make people more easily charmed, but others could use it for some other nefarious purpose.
Twilight vampires, understand. So then we don't need to worry about Ava sleeping underground, or do we still want to go down that path?
If that's not why we think they could see you, should we be concerned about the fact that the woman made eye contact with you?
You know, that is also a very good point. I wonder though if she could see me as me, or just as like just as like a thing that was watching them, you know, like a will-o-wisp type of orb watching things, or if she like saw me as person. Because if she saw me as person, then she would know what I'd look like.
But she did make mention that we would be meeting our fate soon, unless that was unconnected to seeing you.
Right. And I wonder what that could also mean. I mean, Eric does want revenge on us, so that in terms of meeting our fate does sound very ominous. But you never know with these types of underground people. Just they could also be trying to undermine each other in the process. So maybe that whole meeting our fate could be something that could like be bad for him, but good for her and good for us. I don't know.
Finch,
Jack, did you work with a lot of shady people in the Feywild and just in general? Would you
Oh,
understand how these people think and do?
I worked with bright people, shady people. Worked with people with no disposition at all. But you know what I never worked with? An honest person. Never once in all my years.
Not even the queen herself. You don't think she's honest?
That's a sensitive topic. Vesper, perhaps we should change the subject. Yes, yes, we should. What's this I hear of a house being taken down?
Yeah.
Just kind of whisper to Vesper and be like, Jack, we're for the queen, not with.
Right, but I mean, if he worked for her, he would like be trusting that she would be honest.
What's all that whispering over there? You can, whatever you have to say, you can say to me.
No,
Nothing. And Helio just kind of like drift away.
Helio found a really interesting leaf he wanted to show me.
He would totally ride the breeze away.
You know, Vespa, I can't help but think that you have the opinion that I am a bit of a dunce, a dullard, if you will. Someone who does not have the sense to see beyond your games.
I don't think you're a dunce. I might think you're a little bit dull, but not a dunce. You are quite smart if you work for Queen Morale. So I know you do have, your good points. It's just
Yes,
working...
Queen. Well, yes, of course. We're speaking of a vampire, yes.
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 So.
Yes. That's what I said.
Here's the other thing I was thinking of, Finch, is with what we know in terms of Kella and Zolkan that we killed back in Nightstone, if we do end up deciding to go in to barge right in, would it be good for us to try to disguise as them? Or what if we just disguise as just brand new Zentarum people looking to, get some information, or maybe even if, like, offering services in order to just get in.
Barging into what?
Barging into barge right in.
Barging into barge... No, I mean... barging into the Zentarum? Is what you're speaking of?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing you're not in charge, Vesper.
Jack, did you not remember Just
No,
a few hours ago, you said that you wanted to go into barge right in to be a hero.
Yes, absolutely. But I did not say we should barge in like some fool Eladrin and get ourselves killed.
We're not going to barge in there and just start swinging
I
swords.
believe the words that you just used were, should we just barge right in?
That was as a question, not a suggestion. I'm just trying to get
Okay.
Finch's opinion.
Well, perhaps you should phrase your questions a little better. Get someone killed.
Can I
No.
Eldritch Blast Jack just like 2 inches away from him? Oh, I'm sorry. I should have been more clear.
If you want to go, Vesper, we can go.
Didn't you want to go, Jack?
Wait, no, I don't mean go. I mean what's the word? How is it that that the people in this realm say such a thing? It's more like if you
Fight.
want to no, that's not it.
Fight.
No, I've just said that's not it.
Helio
sounds like fight.
asked Jack a question in Sylvan. Is he talking about like traveling, like progress onward? See if that's the word.
Oh, do you want to take me somewhere, Jack?
Or Jack.
I don't even know what the hell question to answer at this point. Perhaps we should split up. Yes? Silence.
No.
Okay, you're all in agreement.
No,
So-
there are vampires. We have established there's a minimum of 1 vampire in this area, aside from a number of, well, just terrible people who we kind of want to fight at the moment. We should not split up.
Well,
We barely survived
Helio-
together.
Perhaps
We'll
Helio and
die
I.
apart.
Perhaps Helio and I should go in, disguising ourselves as representatives of the Queen. Be a
Yeah, I
stretch.
don't
It will
think
be a
that's going
stretch for
to go
Helio, but
down very well. I
why is
don't
that?
think the Zentarm respect any other authority other than their own.
Well, that sounds familiar.
Huh.
Oh, very well, Vespa. What's your plan? Oh, that's right. It was charging in blindly and getting us all killed. That's
We're
right.
not charging in blindly. We're trying to come up with a plan, but you keep interrupting, so shut your trap.
All right. Well, I will just shut my trap then. I'll be somewhere near Filch. Yes. And I'll oversee her opinion on your plan.
So, as I was saying, Finch, before
Yes,
I
go.
was rudely interrupted,
You have the floor.
is it better for us to be disguised as Kella and Zolkin, or just 2 brand new Zentarum that are coming into the area?
Well, it'll depend on what we're looking to get out of this. What exactly is our goal in going in there? Are we generally just looking for a fight? Because
That's the other thing that I'm wondering is, do we
That
even
is a
want to be
brilliant question, Finch. That is a brilliant question. Continue.
Oh,
Yes.
great powers that be! How far from the water are we?
I would say you guys are. I mean, I would say you guys set up camp pretty close to the water, within like about a mile or so of the water. You could get there pretty quick.
Helio's gonna go fill his water skin just to get out.
Yes, but
Sorry,
Vespa, Finch brings up some good questions. How do you respond?
Well, the other thing is if the Zentarum are looking to be involved with only themselves and nobody, like the Lord's Alliance, wants to even take part in anything to take them down, do we even want to go and be involved in this? I know the whole idea of the Womford bat is a thing, but do we want to be involved in killing him and then just leaving and doing nothing in terms of taking down the Zentarum? Because if we try to do that, that's a lot of work.
Well, I mean, perhaps it's a lot of work for someone such as you, Vesper. However, I feel like myself, as well as other talented individuals, such as Finch here, for example, would be able to handle it.
No. We cannot. I've met this group before. It's a very bad idea to go into this half-assed. We can't just. If they're generally just walking through, then we should probably leave them be. But if they're actually planning to attack a nearby town, we might want to interfere.
Well, they're looking to take over up north, but it's all the way to the west of where we are planning to go.
Even if she didn't directly see you, if someone there made eye contact with someone scrying, wouldn't they suspect any new person who shows up?
That's very true. So maybe we give it a little bit of time to simmer and then come back to it?
No, there is no time for simmering, especially if there are people who are potentially suffering.
So why don't we just go to Wamford and act as, wearily travelers and try to get this bat to come out away from Bargerite if it is Eric, and then eliminate him that way and then just leave.
That's a brilliant plan. I'm glad I led you to that course of action, Vesper. Now, I feel like, regardless, they will have some sort of contacts within the town, yes? Should be easy enough to track them down.
Yeah.
Yes?
We do have things to help us with vampires.
Yes. No, I wasn't talking to you, Vesper. I was talking to everyone else. Finch seemed like she wanted to agree with me, but thought better of it.
The second you started excluding Vesper, I immediately disregard your opinion, but please go ahead.
Well then, I guess I see. I see there are cliques forming. Very well.
Finch.
If you're willing to put down a good plan just because I came up with it, I suppose that is your prerogative.
Finch, since you seem to know the most about vampires, is there anything we need to be aware of besides that? A way we can't kill them, or a way we should kill them?
Yeah.
I would say Vesper wouldn't know such a thing. You wouldn't have much contact, like much encounters with vampires coming from the Feywild. You wouldn't know too much about them.
She was asking Finch, though.
Finch.
Oh, Finch. Sorry, I thought you meant Vesper. Finch. Finch would have heard, I would say, like, the basic rumors and legends about, like, a stake through the heart, silver bullet, those kinds of things. Like, but nothing more than that.
Okay, I have a question then. With my background, my Haunted One background that allowed me to have monster hunting items, would that have given me some information about it? Because I have holy water and wooden stakes and manacles and all that stuff.
No, I would say you know more about, like, Feywild type problemos. You wouldn't know about, like, mundane, like the stuff that happens on this world. You wouldn't know.
Okay, well, just so everybody knows, we do have 7 flasks of holy water and 3 wooden stakes? Do we have more? Oh, 9! We have 9! So if those stereotypical legends are true, we have things to use. But the question also is do we, for the whole stake and the heart thing, is it directly to the vampire? Just go straight up to Eric and stab him in the heart with a stake?
I mean, we can. What if he's not the only vampire, though? There's a risk that he might be a thrall.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, what's a thrall?
It's like a vampire, but it's a slave to a better vampire.
If
Hmm.
he had to lure travelers over to Womford instead of killing us outright, it is likely that he's not the most dangerous thing there.
Did Helio overhear the holy water bit? Was he close enough for that?
I would say yeah. I would say you're close enough.
Helio would pipe up and be like, I don't know how helpful it is, but I could make more of that.
How long does it take for you to make more?
Well, I'd first have to focus on the spell to recall it, and then after that, I'd have to have the material, which shouldn't be too hard. And then after that, I can just make it like instantly.
What materials do you need?
Well, I mean, we have all this silver, but I need it to be powdered.
Hmm.
And I could probably do that if we sat here for a while and shaved it down, all these silver coins. But I don't know how long it will that take.
I don't have any spells that could reduce that time.
Well, I guess before we get even more deep or into this, is it a consensus that we are going to go into Womford and try and get more information about the Womford bat and try to lure him out to kill him, or are we going to let this sit and come back so that Helio can do his thing with the holy water and we can get a little bit more information about these vampires and such?
I have a very dumb question, and it's probably not going to go anywhere. Do I know anything about the specifics of the spell Helio was talking about?
Probably not, because out of character, the spell I'm talking about is Ceremony. It's a first level cleric spell.
Okay. Then yeah, I don't think the dots connect enough that I would ask it that.
I've never used the spell.
My chaotic brain was like, well, there's a river running through it, and that's probably their water supply. What if we just bless their water supply?
I love that. God, I love that. I adore that. That is my favorite thing ever.
Make it happen.
Oh, I love that. That is amazing. Bless their
Right?
water supply. It's
Or
like
Helio.
building off on that, you know, possibly even getting into blessing some ale or wine that gets shipped there. Do vampires eat? Besides, like, the whole drinking blood thing, do they actually eat and drink?
you would know, Finch, you would know that vampires, though they do not have to eat, they can. And so, like, you know how you enjoy eating, everybody enjoys eating. So I mean, like, vampires, just because they don't have to eat doesn't mean they stop eating.
They can eat. He might not, though, if he doesn't trust us.
Hmm. Well, there's always option of disguise. But Jack wants to go in.
Don't
but you
presume
want
to
to
know
go?
what Jack wants to do.
You
Vesper.
said it earlier, Jack.
I'm
I'm
not
just
allowed to change
repeating
my
the words
mind. I'm
that
not
you
allowed to have
said.
different opinions.
Finch, where's Bruiser?
in your bag.
Trust me, I really want to as well. But tragically, he can occasionally be useful. Hopefully.
Hmm.
Who are we talking about?
Bruiser,
Yes, very useful.
truly. If we are set on going in and looking for general information, are we all going in? A part of us going in?
What I was also thinking of, what if it was you and I disguised, Jack and Helio in each of our pockets, and then Liddy and Ava
I call Finch's pocket
as
for no
animals.
reason
Nope.
whatsoever. Just throwing it out there.
I did Celio.
I believe I called Crossbow.
Crossbow.
And then Liddy and Ava each being an animal and in a pocket as well, something easily hidden.
Ooh,
Kind
that's
of like
true.
what we did in Grudhaug, teams of 3 and animals and then hidden fairies in pockets and then disguises.
Helio, depending on the specifics of your ability to bless water, do you think it's possible to bless the river?
I don't think I can bless that much at a time. That's a lot of divine energy flowing through one point, and I don't think I can do that.
A holy filter on the river.
Just like a slow tap.
So we want to go into Womford first, not barge right in. Get information from the locals. Go in the morning when it's not nighttime. If we see anybody wearing a hat in the daytime outside, that's suspicious for possibly a disguise.
I hardly think that having bad fashion sense is a reason to attack someone, Vesper.
Anyway. Womford in the morning, get information about this bat. Possibly even stay the night if we feel up for a fight.
Yeah, where are we now again? Sorry.
You guys are right outside. I think it was determined that you guys are 10 miles outside of Womford, just kind of hanging out on a hill, camping out for the night.
If we do want information, night would be the best time to go to barge right in.
Yes, sounds like a wonderful idea.
That when they'd most be able to attack? Does the sunlight only hurt them, or does it interfere with other abilities?
Oh, no, I just meant nighttime is when, if we're looking for information about and from less scrupulous individuals, they're more likely to be there at night.
When we got information about Barge Right In being overtaken by the Zentarum, did it sound like they had like a heavy military presence in the city? So you have to like go through guards to get into the town? Or is it they're more kind of like underground type of
It's I would say
organization?
you would know it's more like from what you've got, well, from what reconnaissance you've done, and you can kind of look down on it since you guys are up on a hill. You can kind of look down on the whole operation. It just kind of seems like it's a loose, like there's no guards posted anywhere. It looks like you're kind of just your average kind of like frontier town.
Okay, so like anybody on the road could go in, but if you go in you could ask for someone of the Zentarum because of one reason or another, or if you do anything super like shady or just that could offend the Zentarum, they have the ability to like just assassinate, take you out with, and then have people like not really care.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, from what we know of the area, is it like I know the big cities are sort of not doing anything about it. Do traders generally avoid it, or do they still like pass through and stay there?
I would say you would know that traders generally avoid the area. I mean, with rumors of vampires and of Zentarum and, like, criminal activity, it's not like a hot vacation destination that everybody's super excited to go to.
Okay.
So, Finch, you want to go to Bodgerton first?
I mean, we might as well just get a lay of the land.
Do we want to go under disguise of
Yes.
possible Zentarum, or just as traders, merchants, travelers, not as ourselves, if Eric knows what we look like?
Would Finch, given her history with them, know whether they'd be more receptive to a fake new recruit or if they'd, like, be friendly towards traders or something?
You would know that they would be, like, if you went there saying, I want to join the Zentarum, and you looked sufficiently tough, they wouldn't turn you away.
Well, then obviously Jack is the fairy for the job.
Do we want to attract Zentarum attention immediately? Or do we want to just lay low for a bit and, like you said, take some reconnaissance of the town before we decide to make contact with Zentarum? But I mean, is our overall goal to do something with Zentarum or just get rid of this Womford bat?
I feel like it would be impossible to do one without the other. Like Finch said before, we shouldn't half-ass things. I gotta write that down.
What?
I still want to know what our overall goal is with this. Is we obviously can't take out the Zentarum because it's been there for years and nobody really wants to get involved in it.
Maybe
but there
that's
is
the problem, Vespa.
there is the whole thing with the bat that is, luring people to Womford for him, them, it to, have their way with them. So do we want to be the heroes and get rid of the bat or not? What is our overall mission with the idea
I
of going
don't see
there?
why we can't do both.
I deter to Vesper on this one. Whichever you think best.
Oh, well,
follow you.
there's a shock, everyone. Finch is cuddling Vesper again. Alright, well. Ava, what's your opinion?
I'll take it back. We're feeding him to Bruiser.
So basically, from what I understand, and I'm just making sure I'm right real quick, vampires are like, oh, that's a mythical thing. That shouldn't just be around.
Yes, generally speaking, if a vampire's around, probably bad news bears.
Okay, then I think I don't have any particular inclination to take on the Zentarum, but them having access to a vampire doesn't sound good.
No, it certainly does not.
So we cripple the Zentarum just by taking out the Womford bat, and then that's it. Just kill it and then leave without, hopefully, so much as kicking up too much of a fight within the city so that we can just escape with our lives.
No, we're certainly taking out the Zentarum.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Finch, but taking out the Zentarum in a place that they've been ruling for years is a little bit much for just a small band such as ourselves.
Uh,
It won't be easy, but personally, I'd rather murder all of them. I'm not gonna lie, given the choice, I would gladly walk in there myself and try. However, there's a good chance we'll lose.
But there's a chance we will also win.
From what I know, have the rumors about the Zentaran vampire been around like as long as they have taken over the town? Like, did they coincide?
You could ask Noxen. You could get a hold of her. Noxen. Yeah, Noxen. You could ask her and see if she would know.
Finch, could you or Vesper ask your contact if the Wamford Bat and their takeover of the town coincided?
I'll do it, just so I can get away from Jack.
Oh,
I
I'll
also
go
don't
talk
have
to Jack and
sending.
do it.
I'm sorry, I hid my name. Yes?
so after waiting on a magical equivalent of hold for a moment, you do get a hold of Noxine. You get a hold of her, and she'll say that they do coincide, like roughly, like within about a year of each other. Within about a year. Like the Zentarum took over first, and then within about a year, there was rumors of a vampire in the area.
All right, then Ava will sort of nod and given that the rumors would take longer to spread, I think it might be safe to assume that the Wamford Bat is the base of their foundation. Taking it out would topple the tower, regardless of whether we interfere.
From where we are, does Barge right in? It's a town. It's not a city, right?
Barge
not
right
that
in
big.
is just, it's a big old, it's essentially looks like a giant old castle that has been like, it has like a couple of buildings around it, but it's not like a town. It's just a big honking building in the middle of nowhere.
And we don't see, as far as we can see, being, well, okay, I take that back, because we wouldn't be able to see anything. But smaller or bigger than Nightstone?
Combined with Wamford, bigger. When you're separating Wamford out of it and just looking at Barge right in, smaller.
Okay. So, in the morning, or do we want to do this now? Go into Barge right in under guys, each holding a Liddy and Ava, Jack and a Helio, finding possibly a place to sleep for the night and just kind of taking some information in throughout, I guess, our investigation, walking around the town, walking around that big castle tavern-y looking thing, and seeing if we can get information about this bat, about an Eric, about see if we could see this old lady. Is that what we're going to do?
Yes?
We might want to delay it by a night to get rid of the blood magic before walking into their territory.
So in the morning or afternoon.
Yeah, because from where we are, it'll take us like a day to walk there anyway, right?
No, about a half a day.
Okay.
So stay the night here, camp out, wake up, slowly make our way to the town. Harshnag stays a good ways away, but is able to see what's going on in the city as best he can, so he can jump in and help if necessary. And I wish we had more sending stones. Okay, so Finch, disguises.
Yep.
Um,
Do we want to use magic or
I'm wondering if I don't want to spend too. I know it's okay if I spend spells during the day because I can fight, but I don't know if I would want to and just keep some just in case we need it. I can do
I
it
would
once a
say
day without spending a spell, so I already have an hour. That's fine.
I can just give you a disguise, though I would personally prefer if I cast a disguise self on myself.
I feel like I'm very distinct, and it's hard to disguise me from someone who's already seen what I look like, and I can't take this off. And I'm blue.
Let the record be shown that Vesper is blue.
I'm blue.
Da-dum-dee-da-dum-da.
I knew someone would go there.
Do you think you can disguise well enough to make me not look like me?
I can try. One way to find out.
Do we practice this in the morning or right now?
I mean, yeah. Do we just? Oh, we can just do it right now. Shouldn't take me too long.
Okay, well, if that's the case, you can get all your stuff laid out and prepared. I need to have a quick chat with Liddy and Ava first. So if you want to do that, I'll come meet you when I'm done.
All right.
Okay.
So just like read around in all your stuff. Just in her disguise kit, try and find some stuff that would fit Vesper.
Okie dokie.
Helio is going to sit on a rock and start casting a spell.
Ooh. That never ends up poorly, does it? Ever. Ever, ever. That never ends up poorly.
Actually, you're right. Probably not a good idea to do it now. Let me know when it's morning.
Okay! Anyways, with that ominous thing out of the way, you guys do your thing now. Oh boy.
So I already sent a message to Kay, and she's down for doing this chat in Fireside, probably like Sunday or Monday. So I'm just gonna pretend that happened,
Okay.
and I had my conversation with Liddy, and then I'm going to go find Ava.
Okie dokie.
So I'll sit next to Ava wherever he's chilling. I don't know what he's doing or what he's up to.
He was probably just standing there. When he sees you want to talk, he'll probably like make a little distance from the group and go and sit down on the grass.
Okay. I'll sit opposite, crisscross. So I already spoke to Liddy, but I wanted to talk to you as well. Um, I feel like what happened back there the other day is all my fault, and I just wanted to apologize for not telling you about Helio's disposition for planting seeds, and to be honest, it was really my fault because I was the one who gave that seed to him. It should have never happened. I should have been more responsible, and I should have told you before anything occurred.
Vesper, correct me if I'm wrong, but Helio is not a child. You were not in charge of making sure that he did not get into trouble or cause it.
He's done it before, so I should have known. Did Jack tell you what he did before?
No, Jack mentioned that he was a troublemaker, but I didn't think mischief would extend to something that could hurt people.
Well, Finch did mention a little bit about it, but he planted a seed when we were in a small village, and I don't think he thought about how far enough it was away from everything and how big it would have grown, but it toppled homes and it ruined buildings in the city and caused this one tavern owner that one of our previous friends had befriended very closely to basically lose her establishment.
And he did not see the consequences of that as a reason not to do it again?
Not at first. He seemed very proud of what he did, not realizing the consequences of what happened, but I did explain it to him. And he seemed to understand. At least I thought he did. But then doing this, I don't know if he just assumed another big tree would have grown, or if he would have known what came out of it beforehand. I know he's very smart and he's been living in a library for the last 5 years, but I don't know how much he's read on botany and plants and all those things. But I just feel like because he was stuck for so long, he just wants to do anything and everything. And it's endearing for the most part, but I don't want people to get hurt, let alone die.
Vesper, I understand that because you consider him a friend, it is difficult to not try to take responsibility for his actions. But I still fail to understand why you have to apologize for what he did.
Well, I was the one that gave it to him. If I didn't give it to him, he wouldn't have had it and asked you to plant it. So it started with me, if you look at it that way.
And I was the one who grew it. The chain of blame can be passed through many hands. But that does not mean that everyone you could apply it to deserves to have it applied. And he'll actually shake his head. I do not blame Helio alone. You should know. I can take responsibility for trusting people too much.
I know we just met. And I know we really haven't had a chance to get to know one another. Plus Liddy and Jack. And I just don't want to make it feel like what you all signed up for is things like this, where without thinking, people could die. And, you know, you and Liddy both have stories that need to be told, and you have memories that need to be reclaimed. And I would like to help with that. But with what happened, I don't want to lose any trust between anybody in this group if we're to do what we need to do to help with this whole ordering thing and the giants, and then now with the Zentarum and vampires.
He'll sort of avert eye contact a little bit. It is already lost. Do not take it personally, Vesper. It's not that I am not willing to fight alongside you and him. But trust for me is something else. I may even be losing it for Jack, who tried to cast a spell on me at that time.
I'm sorry. This group has had history of having people in it where they don't get along, and it just causes a bunch of rifts, and then people leave, and I don't want that to happen anymore.
So long as he does not again cross that line, I have no intention of revisiting the wound. The trust is lost, but I will not hold it against him on a personal level. Nor has my trust for you been lost, if that's acceptable.
I just felt like I had to say something because I know how upset you looked after what happened to Liddy.
Yeah, his gaze will get dark again a little bit. And just... When I lost my memories, the world became like a sea. 5 years of my life were nothing but a blur of waking and sleeping and sometimes eating. And everything outside of that was lost. I know that I often struggle to remember how I am supposed to be a human, and because of this, I tend to cling to safe spaces, to harbors, things that don't shift, people. Even if I did not want to, I seem to have already designated you and Finch at least as some form of safety to rely on.
You were also pretty good back there.
It wasn't intentional. Something that I guess my instincts remember from the years.
Is that something that concerns you, the memories that you lost? Do you want to get them back, or...
He will actually bring out like an old, tattered looking, really damaged journal. And he won't open it, he'll just sort of brush the sort of cover of it. I can't answer that. I don't know what kind of person I was, what I was doing, but from all that I can gather, I was trying to play with something I shouldn't. And the kind of person who wants to do that, for whom fighting and killing comes as an instinct. Would you want it back? What if it supersedes all that I've built in its wake?
Hmm. That's a hard thing to think about. I've never thought about the idea of losing memory of everything I've known and then just being somebody brand new after that. Are you not afraid that something from your past will come up on our journeys?
I'm afraid. I'm very afraid of it. But if it does, as someone who was once that person, it's my job to fix it, isn't it?
But you wouldn't outright seek that information?
It's a draw. Like magnetism. I need to know, and I want to know, but needing to know seems to compose the very person who I'm not sure I trust anymore. Like the charm on me, it's hard to distinguish whether or not my desire to know is a remnant of that self or a part of my new one.
Well, for what it's worth, if anything does end up coming up, I know Finch and I will be standing right next to you.
Vesper, I appreciate that. And it is a new feeling, but I'm certain that I also do not wish to see any of you hurt. I'm going to do what I can to help you.
And of course we will too. But I know Finch is waiting for me, so thank you for listening and just being very understanding.
He will nod and then pull out one of the pretty leaves that he took from the Red Cap Cave and hand it to Vesper.
I'll take it. I'll see if Finch can do something with this for me. And I'll go to Finch.
How'd it go?
I feel like, something has been established there, and I know that there's a sort of supposed rivalry between our two factions, but I think there's really something growing there between Lydia and Ava. Jack is a whole nother story.
Have you noticed him acting weirder than usual?
I mean, what is usual with Jack, though?
Yeah, you're probably right.
But he did
Either way.
seem to be a little bit more, I don't know, invasive tonight with the conversation.
Maybe he did watch his friend die. Well, temporarily die. Maybe he's just not used to it yet.
And the fact that Helio was involved, I think that really also put a really hard stab in there. And again, history that we do not know, but I would really like to know.
That's what it was. It was seeing his friend that he met maybe a week ago die. That's what it was. Got it. Alright. Good that we got that squared away, gang. There's nothing else.
I feel like with Jack, he's one of those people where you have to, choose your words carefully enough so that everything that comes out of it makes him believe that everything is his idea. When obviously it's not.
I won't disagree with you on that one.
Man, I wish I was such a more clever speaker like you than what I am.
I mean, you can just tell him to go fuck himself.
True.
Wait, genuinely important question. Has Finch ever heard Vesper say fuck?
I don't think I've cursed at all. Have I cursed?
I think yes, once. I think, but I'd have to do some digging. But I think when you guys were fighting, fighting something. I think you did, but that might be me misremembering.
Okay.
I would say maybe once, maybe on a technicality.
I rarely curse.
Hey, maybe give it a try. Does wonders for me.
I feel like, though, for a person of my what's the word? My status? Cursing is a little bit low level.
I
Does that
mean,
make sense without sounding too pretentious?
no, not really.
Okay.
If you don't want to curse, I won't make you, but I'm just saying, it doesn't hurt. I mean, come on. Are you really telling me you haven't wanted to just yell fuck you at him? I mean,
I do yeah, but I feel like just saying those things is not going to mean too much to him. You have to get really under his skin with that type of a person.
I'll take your word for it. I'm just saying, it could do some damage.
I did
I don't
notice, though, that he just, just outright immediately said he wanted to be in your pocket, not in mine, when he was in my pocket and good Haug, so I wonder what that means.
Didn't he get trapped under a bag of flour when he was in your pocket last time?
That is very true. That's probably why. Maybe he
Yeah.
thinks he'll have an easier time with you.
That's what it is. We got it, everyone. Mission solved. Go
Problem
home. Pack it
solved.
up. Pack it up. We got him.
Expert detective.
Alright, so,
Oh, I got this really pretty leaf from Ava. Do you think you can do something with it for me? Just so I can, I don't know if you could do something that could, protect it so that I could wear it, or just do something really nice and pretty with it.
sure, I can figure something out.
Okay. But I wouldn't wear it, obviously, out in the open while we're in Bodrighton. Are we trying to be Zentaran people, or just traveling people?
We may want to just be traveling people at the moment.
Okay.
Honestly, it wouldn't hurt to try pretending we're well, one of us pretending we're bards.
You think you could make me look like Awen?
I mean, I could certainly try.
Okay. Well,
It's not too far off. It's a possibility if you do want to go down that route.
I feel like that might be easier. I mean, what else could it be?
I mean, we could just go in, sing some songs, get them drunk, bam, they tell us information.
Did Awen have did characters, people and places? Where's Awen? Oh no, it wasn't Awen. Okay, I need something that covers my head. I don't know if there's some sort of like a Feindar, what he was wearing on his head, or Naxine, maybe something that just covers all of my hair and my forehead. You know, a lot of cloth up there to make it look like a wrap of some sort.
I definitely have plenty of fabric and hats.
All right. Decorate me.
So, to clarify, you want me to make you look like Erwin?
Well, I feel like as someone who's a Winter Eladrin, the only other things are like sea elves or water genasi, just something that already I could blend in with. But I'm worried about the covering of my crown, and that's pretty much basically it, is the crown.
Oh yeah, no, I got you. So, do you want head wrap, a wig, like?
Probably a head wrap would be best. I'm looking at the picture of Noxine, and her head wrap I think looks really nice, and how covered up she is except for her eyes. She's got gloves and she's covered basically from head to toe, and all you see are her eyes. So something similar like that, maybe?
Alright. Finch will take like an hour just prepping all the stuff, getting Vesper decked out.
and decked out she will be.
Do I need to make a disguise kit check?
No, I would say at this point you're pretty good at it. I mean, like with enough time, like I would say you make a disguise kit check when you're like in danger, but like when you have all the time in the world to like perfect something, I would say you're okay.
Is this outfit like more subtle or is it very flamboyant?
I'll leave that to Finch. Although I would say Finch tends to err on the side of being flamboyant, but that's just my perception.
It's more toned down than Finch would like, but it's definitely flamboyant.
I'm wondering also is with these disguises, are we okay with attracting attention entering this town? Or do we want to blend in when we first get in?
Well, it's better to prepare for the worst, and best is no one even sees us. Worst is they immediately realize we're weird. In between, it's probably best just to err on the side that they will notice us. Not the stealthiest.
Helia would probably make the comment that you would not want to wear anything that would stand out with the Zentaur. Drawing unwanted attention from them is like not something Helia wants to do.
Okay. And then we also need to decide keeping our stuff on us, just spreading it out amongst our things so that, if we do get pickpocketed at any point, at least we're not losing all of our things, or we just leave it all with Harshnag.
I mean, I think Harshnag's a pretty safe bet.
We can take a bit of money to help us get in, but not everything, because we do have quite a bit now. I can leave my weapons with Harshnag, because I do have the ability to summon them anywhere. So I don't need to carry those around. And then we also want to look at what we have. We do have a potion of greater invisibility, so that could help us if we want to kind of snoop around in that big castle-looking thing. We've got that sovereign glue that we could use. We've got that oil of slipperiness that we could use. And then do you want to use the statue, the halfling statue, to gain that ability in the morning so that I'm going to be relying, I hope it's okay, relying on you a whole lot in terms of being the face of this.
I got you. Maybe I won't turn it down if that's the case.
Okay. And then we'll have flasks of holy water on all of us, so that we've got 7. So we've got plenty, so that everyone has at least 1, and maybe you and I could have 2 or more, whatever's left. Well, it's probably be 2, 2, 4. Yeah, well, yeah. And then we've got 9 steaks too, so we could like distribute that amongst us, just to have. So I think that's pretty much it. We'll leave everything else with Harshnag on his person, just in a separate bag, so that he can just easily carry it and put it somewhere on him that it's not easy to just kind of like fall off. And then we'll just get it back from him when we're done doing what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Have we taken a long rest yet, or are we about to?
You're about to.
Okay.
So in the morning we can distribute all of that and give that to Harshnag. Let him know. But just so that you and I are on the same page, once we go in, we go in as traveling entertainers, or you go in as an entertainer. I just go in as your companion. I also wonder, is it like a psychological thing where we would want to convey a sense of, I did have a little bit of study growing up by a tutor, hearing that, certain actions that people do make others uncomfortable, which would cause them to not want to pay attention to you as much. One of those being overly flirtatious. So I don't know if we want to also convey a fact of you're the entertainer and I'm your side piece.
Vesper, are you asking me out on a date?
Ooh la la.
You had that. You have that person in your heart, so I don't want to step on any toes. But I just want to, not attract too much attention. And if we do attract attention, we have a way of, averting people's eyes by getting a little too,
Indeed.
only if I'm all about consent, so only if you're okay with it.
Perfectly. If you wanted to kiss, you could just ask Vesper. You don't have to.
I've never kissed anyone before.
Alright then. Infant? Kiss Vesper?
That's a question for Vesper, not me, man. I don't make the rules.
Where's Jack during all this?
Jack just
What's
fucking flies
Jack doing?
between them.
I mean,
What's the DC for jealousy?
the jealousy DC. I would say, I don't know. I'll let you guys determine where this conversation is happening, and I mean, like, I am but an omniscient observer. I have no role to play in this. As much as I would love to have a role.
Like, for me though, because I've never had a kiss before, I kind of want to leave it for a very special moment, and not just, do you want to kiss for kiss sake? Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, it needs to be like, I told you I love romance novels, and I just want, that perfect moment, that it feels natural.
Hey. Here's hoping you find that.
Wait, say that again. Sorry, I didn't catch it.
Here's hoping you find that.
Okay. But I just know that, outright flirtations and stuff make people uncomfortable, and if we get too much attention tracked on us, that a thing that we could use to get people to, walk away or not pay attention to us anymore. So I'm basically trying to pull a Captain America here. It's basically what I'm doing.
I'm just like messing
Okay.
with you.
Okay. I just want to make it clear. This is why I'm doing it. This is why I mentioned it. Okay. But so that's okay with you, and it's okay with me. So if that needs to be done with whatever happens tomorrow, it can be done.
Alright.
Okay. Is there anything else we need to decide? Oh, should we have fake names?
Oh, right. Yes. I'm going to give you this fair warning now.
Mm-hmm.
Under no conditions, call me Goldfinch in front of any Zatari.
Okay.
No, I generally do.
What should I call you?
Oh.
We should probably mention it to everybody else, too. No Finch, no Goldfinch, no Golden Finch, no nothing.
Yes. Agatha? Points to Lady A.
Oh, Agatha. Oh, wait, what was the name that she used in Waterdeep when we were leaving that one time? What was the other name that she used?
Oh.
I don't remember.
What was it?
It was like Agatha, but like, Athena or something. It was like really close.
I thought it was like Abernathy or something.
Abernathy sounds about right.
Oh no! I wrote it
No?
down. Madam
You did.
Angela.
Madam
Madam
Angela.
Angela. Wow. Never would have guessed.
Well, I feel like that would be weird to have a Agatha and an Angela. What, does that sound weird?
I mean, we could just say I'm Lady A.
That's true. Lady Agatha never really called herself Lady A. She always said Lady Agatha. Wait, so you are Lady A, and who am I?
Lady C. Lady C. Lady C.
Lady
Who's on
What
Z.
first?
makes you Madam Angela?
Madam Angela. You're Lady A, and I'm Madam Angela.
Fitting names. Wonderful names.
I just feel like the AA thing. I wonder if that's too cheesy.
I mean, yeah, it is. I trust you on this one. I just find them funny.
I'll think about it overnight, and I'll let you know in the morning.
Alright. And she'll give her like a little salute.
Oh, and I wanted to make note that I want to ask Liddy or Ava if they could wild shape into some burrowing animal like a honey badger, and I want to bury that friggin' bedroll that Eric gave me like super deep down the ground. I want to get rid of that thing.
Okie dokie.
I do not want it around us at all. Like if we need to walk away far away and then like bury it 10 feet underground, like I want to just make sure it's not with us anymore.
Alright. Works for me.
Yeah, can I suggest burning it before we bury the ashes?
Yeah.
Burn the fun.
Yeah, anyone got a fire spell? A cantrip
Yeah,
fire?
Always.
Produce flame.
Okay.
And then we'll just bury it, put the ashes in the bag, and have 2 honey badgers go bury it underground.
Yay.
Okay. Alright. Congratulations. You've burned the bedroll of suspicion. Is there anything else that you guys would like to do before time fast forwards to the next day?
I'm still genuinely curious if Jack saw like Finch going for a kiss with Vesper, because
I mean, I'm gonna leave that to you guys. I don't know where this conversation took
I
place.
rolled a 19, so I feel like Jack caught something. Something. He doesn't know what he saw, but he saw something.
I'll say with a 19, you saw something. You don't know what you saw, but you saw something. I agree with that assumption.
Oh, he's about to see a whole lot more the next morning.
I feel like our disguise is gonna fall apart quickly when your pocket yells, "What?"
Oh, that's my pocket fairy secretary. Like, just ignore him.
Happens all the
it's a-
time. Happens all the time.
it's the biggest fad among the nobles nowadays, just having a random fairy in your pocket. Pocket healer.
Pocket healer.
We come in several different categories.
It's best to get a multi-pack.
Would you like blue or detective?
Which one do you need to get insurance on?
All right. Last call to do anything before time magically fast forward until tomorrow. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, just the burrowing underground and making it a hollow so that if I do turn human for some reason in the night, I'm not crushed.
Okay. All right.
Oh, and I'm not like so out of paranoia with the whole bedroll thing. Like, can I don't want to sleep with the bedroll. I'll just tough it out through the night.
Okay. So is anybody gonna sleep with a bedroll tonight? Just so I know.
Going once, going twice.
I do not think so. Are we setting up watch? Probably. I mean, I guess the grove is good enough.
Are you doing your circle on top of that grove?
Yeah, if we
I don't
aren't
even know what that grove is.
particularly worried about scrying, then I'll do the circle and then just sleep 30 feet underground.
It's a very, very powerful grove. I mean, like, you can go through and read the several paragraph long spell,
Wow.
but I will just assure you, it's very powerful. Powerful enough where I'm not even going to mess with it, and I wasn't planning on throwing any random encounters, because, like, just setting all of that up, bless that spell. I'm not going to go through all of it right now. That's a lot of things to set up, especially if the person isn't here to like directly dictate everything.
Then if it's that, if we all feel safe enough with what Liddy did, then we can all just sleep at the same time. And then since I'll be waking up early, since it's only 4 hours, I'll just jot down stuff in my journal and like look at spell stuff in my journal and then just do that.
Okie dokie. Alright. I think... Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're ready to go to the next day. Speaking...
Should we take a break before the next day?
What time is it?
Yeah.
Let's take a break. Let's take a little miniature break here. Be back at... I guess we'll pick back up at 10. That'll be a nice 10-minute break.
Sweet.
Get out of here. Go.
Oh no.
again. I'm just looking up like how like funny do I want to go with this like alias of a name? Oh God.
It's free real estate.
I know. But I also kind of like, do I want to pick a name that would like irk Jack just to like piss him off? Do I want to be that petty?
Just to introduce yourself as Detective Jack Spicewing.
Well, no. Like I was looking at like feminine forms of Jack, like Jacqueline or something like that. But then I'm like, that sounds like a mouthful.
Jackie.
I like shorter names.
There is Jackie.
Yeah, but that's too close. It's like what would your drag name be? Let's figure this out. Let's see. What month you were born? Oh, I would be a dame, not a madame. First letter of your first name. Ornacia? I don't know if that's right. Ornacia? First letter of your last name. Surprise. That's kind of lame.
I need to see this quiz now.
It's a RuPaul drag queen name generator. Using your month you were born, the first letter of your first name, and first letter of your last name.
Sorry, what did I just come back into?
I'm trying to find funny names that I could use as like an alias, and I came up with this this like picture that says like, what would your drag name be?
I mean, what would it be?
If I followed this, I would be Dame Ornacia Surprise.
I mean, we can definitely use that.
I'll use the Ornacia part. I'll be Madame Ornacia. Or Madame O. Lady A and Madame O.
Nice. Oh no, I need to look at this. Ooh, I'd be Madame Ivana Surprise.
I'm having trouble finding the list.
Oh, if you just search RuPaul Drag Queen Name Generator on Pop Buzz, you can find it. Yeah, there you go. I know what Shady's would be. Oh, that's kind of funny.
Oh no!
Is Shady back yet? Is Shady back yet? No, is he not here?
Wait,
okay.
wait, what is yours?
Mine is Miss Ophelia Balls. With a cash sign, but yes.
Shady's would be Madam Peaches Aplenty.
I'm changing mine. I'm changing Finch's name from Lady A to Ophelia Balls.
Ophelia Balls. Okay.
That's a wonderful name.
Seriously gonna do that?
I might.
I have a question for this Pop Buzz quiz, and it's why is one of the last name options Kmart?
Oh my goodness. So wait, are you going to be Lady Ophelia?
Kind of want to right now, unless you want it.
I'll take it if you wanna. I'll be Madame Ophelia if you want to be Lady A.
Hey, I leave it up to you. I'm now looking at these names.
I'll do Ophelia just for you. I'll be Madam Ophelia.
Thank you, thank you.
Julia would be Mrs. Summer Wild. Something
That's
like
kind of cute.
that.
If we're going by character name, then Ava is Peaches Cut a Bitch.
I just realized that I was not bitch. Lady Peaches got a bitch. Is K Hugh hoax?
Oh, maybe.
Words.
Oh, well, Charlie's not back yet, so.
I would be Mrs. Frida Cutovich.
Yes. I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at Ophelia Balls. That's the best combination.
I just love how punny, like, drag names are.
Hey everybody, I'm back. How's it going?
We're having a good time.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yep.
I found the best name.
What is the best name?
Go to the link and guess and say what yours is first.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
click
God.
on that Hot Buzz.
Let's see what I'm getting myself into here. Give me 1 second. Drag name generator. Why are you looking up? What did I miss? What did
So
I miss?
I was trying to find, like, really funny things to use to figure out an alias name, and I found this.
Let's see. Oh wow. Oh wow.
So you have to tell us your drag name.
I don't know if you guys are ready for mine. Mine is Mrs. Orgasma Bang Bang. So that's one. That's a name. That's a name indeed. Jesus Christ. That's a wonderful, that's a glorious name.
But Kirsten has a favorite name.
Well, what is
It's
it?
Ophelia Balls.
I
Which,
love
by the
that.
way, is my drag name.
I love that. Oh my god.
So I told her, in honor of Ophelia, I will be Madam Ophelia for her.
I love
Madam
that.
O.
I love that. I absolutely adore that.
Person had a funny name too.
What was
Not as
person's?
funny as Ophelia Balls. Mine was, where was it? Mrs. Frida Cutovich.
I do like that. I do like that a lot.
So Shady said we can start without him.
Okie dokie. Works for me. Give me just one moment. Because while you guys were lollygagging about, Lollygagging. I have
Blasphemy.
been doing some secret DM stuff behind the scenes. So I'm just wrapping that up. Yeah, secret DM stuff behind the scenes. Nothing you guys should be worried about. Absolutely nothing. Don't worry about it. It's okay. All right.
Insight check.
All right. With that out of the way, with my secret DM stuff well underway, I will say that you guys awaken the next morning, all feeling fully rested and ready to go.
So we give most of our stuff to Harshnag just to tie it to somewhere on his person so that he can keep it safe for us.
He will give you a very big thumbs up.
Okay. But we'll take some money with us just so that we have it, and then we'll take some of these potions in case we need it. And then we'll tell everyone, at no point whatsoever while we are in Barge-Right Inn is anyone to say Golden Finch or any variation
yeah.
thereof.
We need code names if we're going in here. What's yours, Vesper?
Well, my alias name, I am Madam Ophelia. Or Madam O to my friends.
Alright. If we need to reference Helio or Jack or Ada, how should we do so? Like, we just have our pocket and assume the message gets across.
Well, yeah. If we need to refer to them to anything, we could refer to Helio as Plum and Jack as Spice.
Alright.
You could work that into a sentence. Do you have
Yeah.
that plum on you? I need, type of thing.
Spiced plums.
Yeah, spiced plums. And then what should Alva, you and Liddy, what animals would be easiest for you to be concealed? Or should we, have them as our pets?
The one thing Liddy told me, or I guess the one thing Kay told me before she left, is that she wanted to be a hedgehog exclusively, and that no other animal will do.
Okay, hedgehog for Liddy and Ava. Do you want to be like a bigger animal so that you could be out and about with us, or hidden in a pocket?
It doesn't matter to me. Which do you think will be easier to work into your disguise?
If you're something small, you and Liddy could go around investigating the place easily. Possibly with a plum or a spice.
Then yeah.
Or if you're big, you could stay and be like a sort of guard animal.
How common are cats around here?
Common enough where they wouldn't be out of place.
Yeah, he'll probably be a cat or a mouse. I will let Vesper have the final say on that.
Is it morning time?
It is morning. You awaken in the morning.
Okay.
Did anything spooky happen to me overnight?
Nope, nothing spooky.
Oh, can we make sure Ava is still have blood magic on him or not? Can anyone detect that? Should we?
I will say that by the time you wake up, you feel like as though whatever magic was cast on you has faded. Both the charm and the blood magic gone.
And we don't feel like anyone else got anything new in the morning?
Nope, you guys all feel great.
Okay.
He was gonna go hide behind a rock and cast a spell.
Oh god. What spell is Helio
They
gonna
cast
cast?
what?
Helio is going to pull out a silver coin that I feel like would be bigger than his head.
Okay.
And he's going to cast Tiny Serpent.
Oh God. Well, you're gonna have to link me that one
Your
because I've
tiny servant.
never. Oh, Tiny Servant. I thought you said Tiny Serpent. I was like, what the hell
Oh.
is Tiny Serpent? I was like, Jesus Christ, that's a new one.
No, Tiny Servant.
Okay, all right. Link me Tiny Servant really quick so I can know what you're trying to do here. Although I have an idea. I have ideas already for what's going on. Tiny Servant, continue.
His tiny servant is extra, extra tiny.
I was gonna say... One... Okay... Okay, alright. Are you just gonna summon a little coin spirit?
Yes.
Okay.
And he's gonna come flying out from behind the rock.
Oh,
And
okay.
he's just gonna like. So who is Helio going with? Does he know at this point?
I mean, Jack called dibs on Finch.
Okay.
So I guess Helios with me, unless Finch, you want to fight for it.
No, you can have him.
Hey, let's do I wonder if we should have Ava be a cat so that he could like chase a hedgehog and then they could get lost and make a distraction. Do we need a distraction, do you think, or no? Should we just have him be small with Lydia and then they could just like sneak off?
Well, what would you get from a distraction?
Uh, an escape. If we need to leave quickly.
Alright.
So Ava could be a cat, Liddy could be a hedgehog in your pocket, I'll have Ava, and then you can have Jack somewhere on you and I'll have Helio. And we'll give everyone one flask of holy water and everyone a wooden stake. Just to have on them in case you have an opportunity to use either or.
Okay.
But again, just to remind everyone, now that Shady's back, no golden finch, no goldfinch, no finch, nothing finch is to be said or mentioned while we are in Barge Right.
What name
Better
are we
safe
using?
than sorry.
Um,
Lady A.
Lady A for
That's a
Finch,
ridiculous name. No one will ever buy it.
and Madam Ophelia or Madam O from me.
Madame Ophelia balls.
Yeah. I'm from the far north. So we go in, we go into that big castle tavern looking thing and just get a lay of the land and have things go from there pretty much, really. We don't want to
Alright.
overthink it too much. But
Oh,
if
now we don't want to overthink.
Helio is going to fly up to Finch holding the silver piece. And does Finch have like a breast pocket or something like that?
Yeah, she has a pocket in, like, her chest plate.
Okay. Helio's gonna be like, put this in here. And he's gonna essentially like nudge and be like, and if we get separated, tell it to find me.
Okay.
And
Would
let
I-
it out and just throw it.
Okay. in the same strain of thought, if you see anarchy chasing you down, you know why.
Now you have the tiny servant with you that essentially has been commanded to, if anything happens and you get separated from us, that it is to come find Helio and alert me as to what happened.
Aw.
And he's gonna fly over to us. He's gonna fly over to us.
So sweet.
So was the verdict cat or mouse?
Let's do cat.
Oh, then yeah, Alba will be a cat. Yes, following Finch. Gotta keep an eye on Jack.
Okay. So I'll have Liddy in my pocket then if Ava is going to hang out with you, just so that we don't have too many people together at once if something does happen.
Yeah, Finch has
Yeah.
a lot of animal companions. This seems right.
Yeah, you've got Anarchy on you, you've got a cat on you. You've
got
got
Anarchy, we got Bruiser, we got Starfish.
Oh yeah,
That's fine.
Jaro.
You've got a sentient silver coin.
Helio, is your familiar always out, or do you keep it away until you summon it?
Oh, he'd snap his fingers and it would just like poof into existence.
Okay. Do we want to keep... Does it look like owls hang out around Barge? Should we have it just fly around and you can use it to like look around and see through it throughout whatever's happening?
Owls hang
I
out
don't-
there at night.
Yeah, I don't need that for... He'd just snap his fingers and it'd disappear, and then he would essentially split into two, but the second one would be his spellbook's manifested mind.
Oh, that's right. Oh, so there's 3 Helios.
Oh,
it's a
good.
few Helios too many. Oh yeah, I will cast Disguise Self to just basic human Finch.
Alright.
Okay. Let's go to Barge Inn and kill some vampires.
That sounds like my jam. Alright. So, my final question before you guys move to Barge Right Inn and / or Womford is, are you going to Barge Right Inn first, or are you going to Womford first?
Vesper?
I would say to get to Barge Right Inn, unless you wanted to ford the river, you'd have to go at least slightly through Womford, but you could make it through without, like, talking to anybody. But I just want to know if you want to stop in town before you guys
We
mosey
could
on
do
over.
that. Just mosey through the town, and if there's someone nearby, just ask them as weary travelers, you know, if that big old tavern looking thing over there across the way is a nice place for us to spend the day for resting, and then just make light conversation with them and see if the Womford bat comes up in the conversation at all, and if they could give us any info.
Okay.
And I will actually just say real quick on the way there, Ava will cast Goodberry and give everyone one. Just so that if we decide we don't trust the food there, we don't need it.
Yeah.
Good idea. Good idea. Alright, let me take you guys to a new map. Can we all see the new map?
Oh, Finch halfling statue. Spend some time with that so
Oh, right.
you get an automatic thing.
I'll take it.
Okay.
I think there's nothing else we need to spend time with before we go. I think that's fine.
Alright. Going once, going twice? Can everybody see the new map before I...
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Alright. So... as you guys get closer and closer to the town, on this kind of like I would say it's kind of like a damp, kind of soggy spring morning. Maybe it's not like freshly rained or anything, but there's just kind of a lot of dew in the air. It's kind of humid. Um, but as you guys approach, when you get about 5-ish miles, within about 5-ish miles of the town, a very thick mist begins to like shroud your vision, and it's like this very humid, like kind of suffocating mist that when you're breathing it in, it almost feels like you're being choked a little bit. Like every breath is harder and harder as you're moving through this mist. And I would say that like as you're kind of like looking around, everything kind of has this grayish tint to it a little bit. But after a moment of like traversing through it, you come out the other side and everything seems fairly normal. But I need all of my people that are Fey to roll me con saves.
Ooh.
Oh. Oh no.
Oh man.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh.
All of my Fey people, you suffer 1 level of exhaustion.
How many of you are Fae?
Like a lot.
Man, I have a +5.
I have a
So-
-1 and I failed.
You make it through this mist, and I would say that even Ava and Liddy, you guys would feel like, though you guys aren't Fey, you would feel drained a little bit. Like you make it through the other end, and you would just feel like tired. Like you would need to like stretch for a second. It would just be like this like overwhelming sense of like kind of dread almost. Like you just don't feel like yourself. And I would say, though, like I said, you make it out the other end, and everything seems fine, aside from you guys just being overwhelmingly tired. I would say though that like your eyes kind of adjust a little bit as you kind of like it's as though you're standing in like the shadow of like a cave entrance, and your eyes are adjusting to the darker light, like the darker light level inside the cave. And so it takes a moment for you guys to adjust to your eyes, so you kind of like rub your eyes, but then you can see the village of Womford sitting before you. And I would say you guys are like, I can't ping the map because I'm not on the right tool. You guys are about here-ish, looking in. And you see a dusty, kind of decrepit town. This image is taken as somebody drew it, how it appeared in 3rd edition. But now, this town, though it has a similar layout, is much smaller and much more like run down and kind of like just kind of sad looking. There's kind of like a thick layer of clouds that hangs over the village, and I would say that like the plants are all kind of like shriveled-y a little bit, like kind of gray, or like not gray, but like brownish. All the buildings are kind of like grown over with moss and other foliage, and you just don't see many people wandering about the village. You see a couple people going about their day-to-day, but all of them seem sad and drained.
I don't feel so good.
All right, group. Can I take like 10 minutes just because I don't know how things are gonna go here and inspire everyone with some lovely. Yeah, you're exhausted. Weird arcane shit. We're gonna fuck up this vampire and make him regret it.
Okay.
Routine.
Routine.
All right. I would say that if you're like doing this, are you guys doing this about here? I would say is like you guys kind of keep progressing a little bit. Like to put it in perspective, the wall of kind of mist is about like here-ish. Your mist wall is about here. So would you guys go, yonder way up to this little like ridge, stand on the road, or would you guys just do it straight out of you get out of the mist?
A little off to the side.
Okay. I would say that if you do it anywhere near the road, a couple of people will like stop and kind of listen to your inspiring speech. They won't like stay too long, and all of them will have this kind of glazed over look in their eye. But they'll stay and they'll listen. And then they'll just kind of continue crossing the bridge.
Should we just go straight over the bridge? go into Womford?
Can I, before we do
is-
anything... Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, is it all right to talk?
Yeah, if you guys don't mind, I kind of want to check out this mist a little. It seems weird. Could I make like an Arcana check or something on the mist by casting
Make me an
detect
Arcana
magic?
check.
Yes, good call, Lady A. I do feel a bit funky.
Ah, okay. So you know, it's weird that this mist is like this, but you've heard stories of you've heard stories of the Shadowfell, and you've heard stories specifically of Strahd, a like very powerful vampire who has his own domain of dread there in the Shadowfell. And you know that though it is very difficult, very powerful magical beings can create their own domains of dread or of delight, as they're known, as their like Feywild counterpounters known as. And you know that Strahd, many the rumor has it that thousands of years ago, when Strahd was real and fairy tales were real and all that nonsense, that he like basically just ate a whole town up off the map and made it into this like domain where he was in charge and just kind of ruled over the whole place as like a king. And he transported this whole town, just left like a crater in the ground, and brought this whole town over to the Shadowfell, where he ruled over it as a domain of dread. And you know that one of the signs of getting close to a domain of dread is a thick layer of mist that like will tire you out and drain a lot of energy from you.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. We're definitely right on the vampire part. I think we might be in a domain of dread.
Oh, yes, of course. Good show, Lady A.
So bridge or town?
Up to you, though. Whatever's here is more powerful than we may have initially thought.
I wonder if more townsfolk would be more inclined to give some sort of information than Zentarum folk in the castle tavern thing. So I wonder if we could. Yeah.
Alright.
All right. So, as you guys march into the village of Womford, I would say the first thing that you guys notice not only is like the kind of like the like rundown vibe of this village, but also you see across the river giant Zentarim banners flying across this entire all of Barge-right Inn. Like you see them on the walls, the palisade walls outside of it. You see giant banners, hanging from each of the towers. And even in the village, you see the occasional Zentarim flag, like hung on the side of a building or something. But as you get further and further in, there's just not many people. And none of them will stop and do so much as make eye contact with you. All of them will, like, pretty much pretend you're not there. And, like, even, like, maybe at one point you'll, like, bump into one of them almost, there will be no, like, communication or anything. Like, no, I'm sorry or anything. It will just be, like, completely dead silent. But...
When this...
Yes?
Oh, sorry, I was gonna ask, when this happens, is it more like they're in, like, a trance, or more like they're, like, afraid to acknowledge us?
More like they're just, like, incredibly tired. Like, they're just extremely sleepy. Like, you can kind of see, like, all of them, their eyes are kind of, like I said, glazed over a little bit. And, like, a lot of them are, like, yawning constantly. And they just, like, nobody seems, like, fully alert. Like, so much so that, like, you feel like if you were a criminal, you could just, like, quickly grab something from somebody's pocket and, like, they wouldn't even be able to tell. Like, you can tell that everybody here needs, like, a nice long nap. But not that they're necessarily under a trance, just that they're very tired.
Does this seem to be affecting the Zentarum as well?
I would say nobody in Womford is wearing a Zentarum symbol outwardly. You see buildings that have Zentarum like banners on them, but nobody has like Zentarum symbolism on them.
Mhm. So, what do we want to do?
Oh, I forgot to mention. So, there are a couple of buildings that will catch your eye. There's this big dome type building over here. And it has a sign creaking kind of desolately in the wind that says Spitfire Inn. And it's kind of hanging by like one like rusty chain, and the door is like slightly ajar. But you know, it does look vaguely tavern like. There's this big old church surrounded by graves. Like there are just like more graves than like people in this town. All of them surrounding this church. There is a keep up on the top of this hill here, which, despite again what this picture says, it is very rundown, pretty much completely toppled to the ground. All that remains is basically one tower. This tower here is basically all that remains. Everything else is kind of just rubble on the ground. There's this big old statue in the middle of the village. And let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything from my notes. That's it.
We could go to the Spitfire just to inquire about seeing if we could either stay there or if they recommend barge ride.
Alright. It would also give us a chance to maybe ask about the graveyard. It's even with the domain, it would be this many deaths is not good. Well, not reasonable. Let me reiterate.
So you're going in?
Yes.
All right. So as you nudge open the door kind of gently, inside there is absolutely no one. All of the chairs and tables are covered in like a thick layer of dust. Sheets of spider webs kind of coat just about every like doorway and entrance in this place. And empty like jars and bottles and things kind of line the shelves. But standing behind the counter is a scrawny elf standing there, kind of like almost like nervously polishing a like glass. And he's just kind of like he's like occasionally looks over his shoulder as though he hears something, and then just goes back to his job. He doesn't greet you as you come in, but he does make eye contact with you briefly.
Well, good lead as any, I guess. Excuse me, sir. Are you the owner of this establishment?
He'll spin around and he'll like nearly drop the glass as he does. Like he'll like tumble, like he'll fumble with it in his hands, and it will almost fall on the ground, and he'll like bend over and barely pick it up. But as he does, he'll stand back up and he'll say like, yes, hi. I'm Renan. What can I do for you? Travelers don't normally stop here. Did you not hear about Barge Inn across the river?
We have, but I want to check out the town first. Is there any reason we wouldn't?
He'll shake his head no very furiously, and he'll say like, no, Womford is it's a beautiful place. A little tiring, but you know, it's I like it here. And he'll give you like a half smile.
That's actually something I was curious about. This Domain of Dread, do you know when it got put up?
He'll look like really confused, and he'll say like, Domain of what? What are you talking about?
There's a magic present here. It's the heavy fog that you see around you. How long has that been here?
He'll he'll look at you and he'll look further confused and he'll say, I mean, Womford has always been, it's a low-lying village. I mean, fog is just a fact of life here.
Can I insight check him?
Yeah.
I would also like to insight check him.
I
Okay.
don't feel like he's lying, but better safe than sorry.
Either he is a good liar or he's telling the truth.
Alright. Well, is normal for such a large town to be this quiet.
He'll say, I mean, no, not really, but back in its heyday, Womford was quite the bustling little city. We had yearly festivals, and people would come from miles around. And as he's talking about this, you'll see that, like, not only does he begin to get a little bit more excited, like a little bit more of a pep in his step, a bit of color comes back to him as well. Like he kind of like begins, like, his skin almost begins to glow a little bit. Like it becomes this, like, instead of like a kind of like washed out grayish hue, it goes to like more of like a deep olive kind of hue. And he starts talking, like, about like the yearly festivals and about how there was this great keep on the hill, and about how at one point they slew a giant in front of everybody. And then after telling you some of these stories, he'll calm back down and he'll go back to his kind of tired state, and he'll say, but recently, though, everything, it's been a lot more quiet since the Zentarum, they took over the place.
They're not the friendliest sort. I don't disagree there, but I've got to be curious. I've heard some local rumors about some sort of bat.
He'll shush you very quickly. He'll say, shh, 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 shh. Do not say his name in here.
So you do know who he is.
He'll, like, look around wildly, like, furiously. And he'll even, like, dart over to the front door and slam it shut. And then he has, like, 3 locks built into the door, and he'll lock every single one. And he'll run back to the counter, and he'll, like, kind of, like, half peek out from behind it, and he'll say, yes, everyone knows who he is, but you are not going to say his name here. If you dare invite him into this place, I swear to God, and he'll, like, start freaking out and shaking.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I have no intentions of letting a vampire in. I'm actually... Don't mind my asking. How
You work with him, don't you?
long-
That's it! You work with him! You work with him!
No. I will drink holy water if that's what you want. We want to fucking kill him. Now shut the fuck up.
He'll look like he'll immediately, like, stand, like, straight up and he'll say, like, oh, yeah, sorry. So, but you can't, you can't kill a vampire? Can you do that?
Yes, you stab them through the heart with a stake, make them drink holy water, just throw them into the sunlight. There's a lot of options.
He'll look a little bewildered, but he'll just look a little bewildered, like you're insane.
Okay, first of all, I don't deserve to be looked at like that. You're the one who immediately assumed I was working with a vampire.
He'll look at you and he'll squint and he'll say, that's exactly what someone who... And then he'll kind of trail off. But he'll like, have a suspicious, like, more of a suspicious look on his face, like, in his face, now, as you continue talking to him.
Alright. Look, I recognize we're strangers here, and the suspicion is warranted, but generally take your options into account here. On one of the Zetatorium, and a vampire who's clearly powerful enough to put this sort of domain around your town, and us who are trying to kill him. Any information you give us will only benefit you.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Woo. Roll 20, please. I have a plus 12.
There we go. He will, he'll like crouch down as low as he can, like even lower than he already is, and you can barely see him behind the counter. And he'll grab a vial in his hand that you recognize to be holy water. And he'll hold it in his hands very tightly. You can see that his grip around it is like, it's like, iron grip. He will not let go of this. And he begins like to sort of mumble to you that the Womford bat, he comes in the night. He comes and he takes travelers like you. He takes you guys and he lures them. I don't know what he does. He takes them somewhere. And when they're gone, the only thing that appears occasionally is a skull. He leaves a skull out by the statue in the center of town.
Do you know, is there a frequency to this? How often he takes a victim?
He'll his eyes will dart back and forth and he'll say, No, I hardly leave the building. But my wife, she was taken a long time ago. That must have been years ago now, but I don't know. I lose track of time here.
Alright. Are there any areas nearby where you have myths or parents warn their children not to go that might be related to him?
He'll think and he'll say, well, the hill, the keep on the hill, Ironford Keep. We're always told not to go there, as children, but, I wouldn't suggest going there. There's probably nothing.
Thank you. I'm probably going there, but Barge Route Inn, is it more common for him to take his victims from there or from here?
He'll look a little like he doesn't know, and he'll say simply that he'll say he's heard reports of people being taken not only from Womford and Bargewright, but just like the surrounding area. All like basically for miles around, like there are people that get taken.
Thank you. And I'll slide a gold on over to him.
He'll take it, and he'll he'll just take it and continue kind of like crouching down behind the like bar, and he'll give you that look like you need to leave now. Like, I don't want you here anymore. Like, you need to go.
That's fair. Vesper, I think we have a lead.
Just for note, during this whole conversation, Vesper's been leaning on the counter, falling asleep.
Okay. I would say if you do manage to drift off to sleep, your dreams have this, like, weird kind of, like, almost, like, static filter over them. Like, everything is a little bit, like you kind of hear this, like, TV, like, like the TV snow static kind of noise. And not only that, but, like, you can see, like, visions of, like, this town, in complete ruin. Just kind of like, every building is kind of just a, like, hollow stone outline of where it once was. But other than that, it just kind of appears, like, just kind of desolate and dead. But when you reawaken, everything goes back to normal.
What?
Vesper, wake the fuck up. What are you doing?
Sorry, ever since we walked through that fog, I feel very tired, and you're not supposed to call me that.
Shit. Look, I'm pretty sure this guy's mildly insane. It's fine. Lady O, look. I think maybe he's hiding out in the fort. They mentioned that they're really not supposed to go there. He seems to have been taking multiple people. If we're looking to ambush him, that might be the place.
Is the fort separate from the inn?
Is the fort separate from the inn?
Yes, the fort is on the hill across town, over yonder.
Yeah, it's on a hill.
So we're not going to Barge, right? We're going to the fort?
I mean, we can still go to Barge right if you want, but we might want to take out one enemy first.
Are there, like, people around the fort? Are there guards?
By the sounds of it, the locals don't really go there, and I mean, any guards would be Zavar or vampires, so we could just go scout later tonight.
So go to Barge, right? And when it gets dark, scout out the fort.
Oh, no, we want to attack them during the day.
So go to fort now?
Yes? Just to see what kind of defenses they have.
Okay.
Alright.
To the fort.
Lady A. Lady A.
What?
I do believe that Vesper. Excuse me. I do believe that Vesper may have been drinking.
No, she didn't. You're acting the same as her. I think it's only affecting the faith members of our party. Yes, I do think so.
Well, you're probably right. You're very smart.
Thank
Have I
you.
told you that? You're very clever.
No, it's generally concerning that you are, though.
You're... I'm just going to lay down.
You
That's
you
probably a
just
good
hear
idea.
faint snoring coming from Vesper's pocket.
As we head towards the keep, since we have to pass the statue, can I get a good look at it? What is it of?
You can. Make me a religion check. Or a history check. Either one.
Can I do a detect magic while I'm around it, just to be safe?
Yeah, you can detect magic on the statue. So, this statue is of Kalemvor, a god of death and, not only death, but, justice and kind of he's the god that, in the traditional Faerunian pantheon, judges, who's worthy to, who's good and who's bad in life, he's the one that, ultimately decides, he has a key role in defining good and evil, alignments, essentially. Who's what, who's goes who, that kind of thing.
In my half asleep state, can I look at that statue and is it altered like the Chantia statue?
You can. Make me a perception check.
Are there currently skulls on it?
Oh, does it currently have skulls on it?
Does it have what?
Currently have any skulls on it?
There are 2 skulls on it.
No, I don't like that.
If
But I
the
will
cat,
investigate it.
yeah, if the cat walks up, can I check if there's footprints leading away from them? Someone left these here and left a trail.
Really quick, the perception check would yield that the statue appears unchanged, but I would say that there are no footprints anywhere near the statue. In fact, the statue looks like, for something in the center of town, there should be more footprints than are there.
Right, and then I also just want to do a quick circuit looking for hidden levers or passages or ways that the statue is hiding something.
Give me an investigation check.
I give her bardic inspiration.
You can.
It's not gonna help.
Oh, hey, it's a D6. You never know. Maybe the DC's 5.
Maybe. Maybe. Well,
Never know.
I guess we'll never know. I
That
guess
was a
we'll never
D5 on
know.
accident, but I'm gonna take it.
Okay. Yeah, you look for hidden levers, but it's a statue. It's a statue.
Does detect magic pull anything up?
I would say no. Nothing magical. Aside from the fact that it's a religious statue and all kind of religious insignia kind of has a faint, very, very faint magical energy to it. But I mean, like, nothing beyond that.
How big is the statue?
It's pretty big. I would say the figure itself standing atop the pedestal itself is maybe 6 feet tall, and then this figure standing atop it is about maybe 9-10 feet tall.
If I investigate the skulls, are they just like normal skulls, or is there anything just generally obviously wrong with them?
I would say they're suspiciously clean, but other than being suspiciously clean, they're just skulls.
I don't like that.
All right. Are you guys going to the keep atop the hill?
Yeah? We all okay with doing you clearly, some of us seem to be, most of us, I think everyone but me actually, seems to be having some issues in this town. Do you want me to go ahead alone? I can look through Anarchy's eyes.
You'll never be alone. As long as I'm here. Lady A.
That is so creepy.
That does sound like a threat. I love that.
Wait, so we stay here and Anarchy goes ahead?
Yeah. I don't want you guys to be anywhere near some kind of conflict in your current state. I don't know. It's clearly the domain doing something to you, but better safe than sorry.
I mean, I'm fine if Anarchy goes in and then we just stay together and you can look through his eyes.
Alright. I'll
Hey,
tap out of my
Helio.
senses and... Ooh.
Yes.
Make me a perception check.
Okay.
Ooh.
You hear a loud thud, and you desperately have to get out of this pocket. You need to get into the fresh air now, ASAP.
Helio launches. Oh, no. Helio doesn't even launch. Helio casts Dimension Door out of the pocket. And he just is 500 feet up.
Okay. I would say you hear this loud thud, your vision goes black, and you immediately need to get like wherever you are not constrained.
So that is Dimension Door 500 feet up. That's
Okay.
where he's going. And, yeah.
Okay.
He's just gone out of the pocket.
Okay. All right.
Like,
Anyways.
no leaving or anything. It's just like, wait, gone.
Anyways. So are you guys just sending Anarchy to the fort? And are you guys just standing around?
Is there like
yeah.
an alley where we can at least, like not be conspicuous in the middle of town, just a little dark corner that we could just sit down in and just not, be easily noticed?
I would say if you look around, you could find that kind of place, but do you want to be in that kind of place? That's my question.
Do we want to be out in the open or do we want to sit down somewhere?
I maybe just find a tree or somewhere to sit down, because we won't be getting much help from any citizens if we call. So
Okay.
All right. I would say you can easily find the kind of like willow tree to sit underneath. And is Anarchy the only one going to Ironford Keep?
just gonna set him up, looking through his eyes,
Okay.
see what I can find.
All right. Make me an investigation check.
Ooh. Do. Investigation.
All right.
Sorry, that's a 10 and a natural one. I have a +9.
So as you so Anarchy kind of climbs up the hill, and the first thing that Anarchy would notice as he is climbing, I think Anarchy's a he. First thing Anarchy would notice as he's climbing is like the path that leads up to the village, the keep, it looks as though at one point it was very like worn and used, but it looks like in recent times it has seen very little use. And like grass has begun to creep back onto it. But as Anarchy crests the top of the hill and looks upon the rubble of the keep, all that remains really like fully intact, like I said, is this big tower standing sort of defiantly against the backdrop of this ruined keep. All of the wooden structures in the middle of the keep, these three like house-looking buildings, have been hollowed out and burnt. The walls themselves are all completely crumbled. All that remains is like a thin outline of stone where they once were. And all the other towers, some of them go up to maybe about like a first floor, you know, but none of them go beyond that. In your investigation, I would say nothing really pops out to you, except for there's like the occasional closed door here and there that you maybe like pop open just to see more weeds and bushes on the other end. You might see the occasional like weapon buried in the ground, or like I guess half buried, rusted and worn from time, but nothing sticks out. There's no like hidden doors or anything that you can find.
Mm-hmm. I'll have him do just a few laps to see if there's any like defense.
Okay. There doesn't appear to be any people nearby. The only thing that Anarchy would run into is maybe like, you know, just like some wild animals that have taken up residence in the place. Make me a perception check though.
Ooh. Theoretically, I'm bad at these.
Yep. It's just the sounds of kind of like frogs and squirrels and other animal noises. The sound of wind kind of going through the foliage, you know. It just kind of has this damp, kind of sad feeling to it.
I'll leave him to wander around there, but return my senses back to the group. Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. Yours is more relevant.
What were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say that in the meantime, can I sniff around the skulls? Like, I want to try and find if I can pick up a scent trail that they traveled.
Give me
or
a
that something
perception
holding
check.
them traveled. The
Perception
cat
check
has
with disadvantage on that.
Well, the cat has advantage on smell-based checks, so
Hey, well then it's normal.
neutral.
You smell and you sniff and you kind of like you can pick up just the faintest trail. You kind of get the sense that whatever placed these here, you kind of like get this. I would say it's hard to put a scent on it, like exactly what it smells like, but it smells vile and kind of wretched, and it smells like it came from this direction, from like out of town.
All right, that's all I wanted. Thank you.
Church group. I didn't really see much. Doesn't look like they have anyone posted on guard, though.
The only other thing I would say, actually, as you're looking for a guard presence, is that you would notice that this village has no guards, like, anywhere. Normally you see some guards patrolling the streets, making sure there's no crime going on, or anything suspicious. But, like, the more you look, there's nobody that's even armed, really. Like, you see the occasional, like, improvised weapon, but, like, not even as much as, like, a dagger on, like, a peasant, you know? It's very suspicious. Like, there's no people here that look like they're keeping the peace.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Do we want to go check out the other tavern? Do we want to rest the night and it's just sack straight on? What do we want to do?
Well, if there's nobody around the keep and they're not supposed to be near the keep and it's daylight, would in it essentially, like you said, be better for us to investigate the keep?
So like going now?
I mean, that's what I thought you were implying.
Is that really an option in this moment? Are you all feeling up to it?
If I might, I just went down. Pardon. I feel like the longer we stay here, the worse off we'll be. So perhaps a bit of speed would be of the essence.
Is the fog only surrounding Womford, or does it go across the river also?
I would say that if you got a good enough vantage point, you could see that it crosses the river, and it seems to encircle Barge right in as well.
Well, I feel like I need another 4 hours rest to really feel like I'm going to be able to
That's an
be
oddly
useful.
specific number, if I do say so.
So, I mean, we can do it, but maybe we could go to the inn and just spend the rest of the time catching up with people, and you can take charge in that. If we don't
Alright.
feel like we need to, or we're up for invading a keep.
I mean, it won't hurt to get more information.
But if we go to barge right in, we'll be making ourselves more noticeable to more people, versus here, people ignoring us. So there's that.
I just know if we go into that, into those words, into the keep now, we will be picking a fight. But we wouldn't necessarily 100% be in for a fight if we go to the tavern. So, whatever you all feel prepared for.
We could go to the tavern and just hope that Eric and that old lady aren't there or nearby and can get a lay of what's going on and talk to some people. Or you can talk to some people and charm them, and I can just not.
That's fair. You're plenty charming.
Well, you're definitely much better than I am at that, but I don't really feel up to talking really to anybody.
If I might say, Lady A, I just wanted to add, your pocket smells amazing. I don't know what it is you keep in here, but it's amazing.
Please do not sniff me.
It's just a compliment. Just make of it what you will.
Thank you.
Yes.
Lady O, would you like to accompany me to the barge right in?
Yes. I will hook my arm with Finch and we'll walk together across the bridge to Barge Right.
Okie dokie.
Oh, quick question. Is Helios still up in the sky?
Oh fuck, I forgot about Helio.
I don't think any one of us noticed. He jumped.
He did dimension door,
Yeah,
so
this
Yeah,
is just
you wouldn't-
me
That's a
as a
vamp.
player wondering
You
what
wouldn't
happened
have
there.
noticed. I mean, like, I don't know.
Well, I probably wouldn't have noticed because I'm half asleep.
Just Helio things.
Just Helio things.
Helio things. He's gone.
Central message. Wait, so do we know Helio's gone?
I don't think so.
Would I have being
Well,
neither
He was
exhausted?
snoring, and now the snoring's not there.
Yeah, would I not being exhausted have noticed this or
You can make me a perception check.
oh no, I'm so bad at these. I need to stop asking you to make them. Dice are on my side now.
Yeah, you would notice that, like, wherever he was, he's not there now.
God damn it, Helio. I'll just quickly message Helio. Helio, why?
How far does message reach?
120 feet.
Helio's 500 feet in the air, so it doesn't get to him.
I'm just gonna drag the hands like down the face, just full exasperated motion. I'm gonna turn to Anarchy and just give Anarchy a look that says, "Go look around to see if you find Helio and bark at him."
Why don't you just use the coin that he gave you?
Would I know if it's a one-time use?
Unless Helio specified it to you. I don't think you'd know.
I did not intend to specify that, so I'm gonna have to stay.
Alright. I'll take the coin out of the pocket and give it a little toss.
It'll okay. Can I role play the coin?
Please, please don't.
Yeah.
The coin will hit the ground with a thud, heavier than a coin really should, and then it'll just start to like how they rock back and forth before stopping.
Yeah.
Well, it'll start to do that in reverse, and then it'll just stand up on two legs. Like silver legs will just pop out. These legs, little skinny, and then it'll turn and act like it's looking at you, but it doesn't have any eyes. And then it'll look around, and then it'll just fall back over.
I
And then right when you think it's not going to do anything, it's just going to point up.
Helio!
You
Helio, you little fuck!
But if you start moving, the coin will roll after you.
Yeah. I'll leave Anarchy to go searching and I'll just kind of shrug to the others.
Unfortunately, the coin cannot fly.
I'll put the coin in, like, on my shoulder, I guess. Just a new pet.
They'll sit there.
And then the barge right in.
To barge right in?
Barge right
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, if we're heading that way, then I'll keep track of the scent trail.
Okie dokie. Give me one moment. Ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. Let me go here and meow and actually, before I drag you guys to this map. So, as you guys cross the bridge, I would say it's this, like, thick wooden bridge that looks like it used to be this, like, you know, well-constructed piece of, piece of architecture, but now it kind of creaks and groans under everything that comes across it. There's the occasional hole in the bridge. But you do manage to make your way across, and once you cross, you are greeted with a large palisade walls that seem to be slightly more upkept than the rest of the place, like the rest of the village that you were just in. And hanging from all across these walls is the Zentarim banner, like a bright yellow banner with a flying snake symbol at the center of it. And there is a gatehouse with a I would say kind of just like a sleepy-looking guy inside, kind of like eyeing you guys a little curiously.
I'll give him a very friendly bow and see if he just lets us pass.
He'll look at you and he'll open a little notebook and he'll say, name please.
Lady Agatha.
And he'll gesture to Vesper and he'll say, name please.
Madam Ophelia.
And he'll write those names down in his little book, and he'll close it, and then he'll just kind of kick back and start sleeping again. Without so much as like a welcome or anything, he'll just, go back to sleep.
I wonder, Lady A, if it might be smarter not to seem too friendly and instead maybe a little bit more icy or intimidating.
If we play the weak card, there's a chance they might target us, though.
Do we want to be targeted?
I mean, not really. I'd rather not get into a fight. I don't think anyone wants to be targeted. Most of the time.
I just feel like people who would come in here would be a little bit more on the mind your own business type of side instead of like bowing to each other and being polite to each other. But I mean, that's just me. I don't know if you know anything different because, you seem to know more about this than I do.
I mean, I've been here before, but I've always been here as a bard. There's simply the way a bard behaves, for the most part.
Alright, I'll follow your lead.
I guess we go into the end.
Okay. Give me 1 second to bring you guys to a new map. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. And alley-oop. Alright. I need to make sure all of your tokens are on the map now, so give me 1 moment. It's later than I thought it was, Jesus. I just looked at the time.
Par fight.
Yeah, be bigger, Vesper. There you go. Finch, I think you're already the correct size. Helio needs to be way bigger. Not that much way bigger. Helio's like yay big. There we go.
Wait, did Helio follow us?
Helio will be...
Oh, is Helio not coming? I actually forgot to ask. Is Helio gonna follow?
Helio is gone until he gets divine inspiration that he should come back.
And I will say Helio will live off in the ether over yonder. Welcome to the ether, Helio. Alright. Jack exists. Liddy, I'll bring onto the map next week. I guess Liddy won't be here next week. Dang. Alright, well, then. Beans on toast. I think it's just the 4 of you. Alright. So, you step into this so you come up to this grand building, and well, first of all, I would say that you traverse like the castle grounds, because Barge Right Inn is essentially just this giant castle that has been converted into a tavern. And you traverse the castle grounds, and on it there are these different houses and buildings. Each one is as run down as the buildings you saw in the village. None of them look very notable. You see the occasional people inside, but they all just seem like, they don't want to talk. They're not there to communicate. But once you finally get to the grand door to Barge Right Inn, you open it, and inside you see, you expect to see this grand, entry hall. And instead you just see, the ruins of one, and, these arrows essentially pointing back, and then, directing you to go into a side door.
Ooh.
And
It is.
after following those directions, I would say you end up in a smaller, kind of seedy-looking bar that you see right now in front of you.
Am I seeing the inside of Finch's pocket?
Yes, I guess you'd be seeing the inside of
My
Finch's good-smelling pocket.
Screen is completely black.
Uh-oh. Okay, well, let's fix it. Skr. Let's figure it out. Who can and can't see? I need to know.
Vesper can see.
Vesper can see?
Jack cannot see, but Jack
cannot
also
see.
has to go. So.
Oh,
I
okay.
cannot see.
I cannot see either.
Let's see why they cannot see.
All right, don't pick a fight without me, guys. Please.
Okay.
I want to participate
Maybe.
in fights. See you guys later.
Bye.
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 Why can't we see? That's a good question. A very, very good question why we can't see.
I can see my token, but he's just in a black void, if that helps at all.
Same.
Man, I wish that did help. I honestly don't know what's wrong. Could you guys try refreshing if you haven't already?
Yeah.
If it helps, I can technically see.
Hey, that's good. That's good. Means that everything isn't broken.
I mean, I'm the only one who doesn't need to see it, but I can see.
Nothing? Gosh. Oh, roll 20, please. Let's try giving you night vision. See if that fixes you. What about now?
Yes.
Hey, can you see everything or just 30 feet around you?
Just 30 feet around.
If I turn it off, what happens then? Can you still see? Yes? No? Maybe? Going once? Going twice?
Wait.
I reloaded roll 20 and it brought me to a different campaign, so I'll be back.
Okay.
Still not seeing anything.
You're not seeing anything. Alright. I guess I will give you a night vision. Who is rubbing their microphone? Finch, does Finch have night vision?
Yeah.
How much?
Tieflings have 60 feet of dark vision, I think.
60, okay, thank you. Okay. And then avocado. I will give avocado. Does avocado have night vision or no?
I believe so. I think half elves have 60 feet too.
Hey, alright, that's good. Blah. And blah. Alright. Alright. Now everybody should be able to see. Now everybody should be able to see.
This is such a shady place.
Incredibly shady.
Eventually
Is
turns
this-
to the others. It's gone downhill in the years, it seems.
Yeah, I would say that you like led the group to where the old entrance was, which like I said is this grand entry hall, and you went in and it was just like empty, decrepit, falling apart, but you know, you follow the signs, you follow the posted arrows, and it brings you around to this kind of area.
Does this not look like the place from what I saw?
Saw when?
When I did remote viewing.
Oh yeah, this looks exactly like the place.
Okay, so this was where they talked. Okay. Well, they were here, that's for sure. So we'll just have to keep an eye out and maybe avoid them for the moment until we get more information. But Lady A, should we get to table?
After you, Lady O.
The only thing I would say is, as you're talking, you'll hear somebody from like one of the tables shush you very, very like harshly, before like returning to what they're doing.
The fuck shut us apart.
It's not a very good table to see. Maybe we'll just have to go to this one? But it's kind of covered. Is there anything over here? Are these lines, these dotted lines, we can cross them, right?
Yes. They're simply detailing. There's a like balcony that overlooks the first floor,
Okay.
and that's detailing the balcony up there.
My Roll20 is lagging.
Do you want to sit back here?
Maybe, yeah. Is this a window? What is this?
This right here is a window. This is an empty fireplace.
Okay. Then, yeah, we can sit here just to kind of be in a corner. What is this thing next to us over here?
Ping it for me.
I'm trying, but Roll20 is a little slow. This thing.
You mean the stage up here?
Oh, that's the stage?
Yes, there's a stage. It's run down and it's kind of gross, but
Okay.
it's a stage. There's some holes in the floorboards. It's kind of fallen apart, but it's, you know, it's a stage.
Okay, then it would make sense for us to be here. So, stage, there's a window right there just to be aware of. We're in a corner. Okay, this is a good place to just sit.
I survey the balcony. Is there anyone like of interest up there watching us go in?
I would say it's pretty empty up there. Although, make me a perception check when you do that. When you scan the balcony, you see a number of small, like, I would say, like, goblin-sized creatures, all of them covered in shadow, darting back and forth across, like, the top. And then whenever you try to focus on one, it, like, you can't see it properly. But then, like, out of the corner of your eye, you see another one skittering back and forth.
Alright, I'll just keep that in mind as I go sit at that table.
Are you still a cat?
Yeah.
Okay. I know it's probably not going to be that well, but while we're walking by, can I just do a quick look-see and see if I could see the old lady that I saw, or Eric?
Yeah, give me a perception check. Or investigation.
I'll do investigation, because I'm a little bit better at that. Even though it's at disadvantage.
I would
Do you have any
say, you do not see any anybody that looks like what you saw.
And as I was following the Sentra when we came in, did it come through here or did it split off somewhere else?
I would say it comes into here, but beyond the doorway, it kind of seems to fade off. Not that like you couldn't, not that it's not there. It's just that there's so many other smells in here, most of them bad, that you can't really make it out.
Okay.
But after sitting for a while, one of the patrons will get up. This one right here, and instead of like greeting you or anything, they'll just kind of like turn, give you this kind of nasty look, and you'll see that they'll bend down and will whisper something to one of the mice on the floor, and the mouse will skitter back into its hole. And as she does this, she'll just kind of continue walking out.
He's trying to play a non-suspicious cat, so Ava will go investigate that mouse in its hole.
Okay. It's a mouse in a mouse hole. I would say it got a good head start on you, so it's already well into its hole by the time you get there. You can kind of like fish your paw in there and kind of like try to get things, but the only thing you kind of like connect with is some mouse droppings.
All right.
So, what do you usually do here, Lady A? Do you just sit around and brood?
Oh. As you are talking, or I guess kind of brooding in silence, whichever one you guys prefer, a kind of haggardy-looking guy comes up, and he tosses a sheet of paper onto the table, which seems to have like a series of items on it, and he like holds up a pen and paper, and he just kind of gestures at you guys to start ordering.
Just order the most basic drink on there.
Okay. Anything else anybody's going to order?
If I look at this list, does it look like it's some kind of code for like, these are the crimes we offer?
The crimes we offer. I would say unless you spoke thieves' cant, you couldn't determine that. I would say it just looks like a bunch of food items. I would say that part of the menu, upon closer inspection, looks very fancy and ornate, and Finch, you would recognize it as like the menu that was given out when the tavern was still in business. But there are bits of the menu that are tacked on towards the bottom, that seem like they're newer editions, ones that you wouldn't recognize, written in different fonts and things like that. I would also note that numerous items are like crossed out, especially ones from the older part of the menu are just crossed out, as though the ingredients don't exist, like they don't have the ingredients anymore, or the time to make them, or the professional hands to attempt something that bold.
I just say whatever the basic drink and whatever like a little finger food snacky thing. Just order that.
Do you say it exactly like that?
Well, I don't know what's written on the menu.
I would say basic drink, wine, basic finger food snacky thing, rat bites. Oh, is Finch dead? Oh no.
Maybe.
Hello?
Ah, welcome
Hello?
back.
Hi. I was confused as why you were mentioning like the brooding signs and says like it's off.
There we go. But, yes, rat bites are like, they seem to be like that seems to be like the first thing that sticks out to you. And wine. There's like, this place is known, even you would know, for its like famous, for Iron Keep wine. It's very famous. And you figure if that's what if you're here, you might as well order it.
Oh man, are we going Resident Evil on here?
I mean,
I guess yeah, basic wine and. Are you hungry? I'm not really hungry.
I could take something to eat. Um, I'm sorry, we didn't quite get your name, and I'll kind of address the server.
He will. He'll look a little confused. In fact, he'll look very confused, and he'll say, names aren't important around here. What can I get you?
Well, first of all, I'd love to try the rat bites. Last time I was here, they didn't have these. If you don't mind my asking, are there any performers coming anytime soon?
He'll look at you. Already he's confused, but then he'll kind of just let out this like low guffaw, and he'll say, "Performers, get a load of this one, performers." And he'll just kind of give you like the yeah, you're crazy kind of hand motion, and he'll say like, "Yeah, your food will be right out," and he'll kind of start walking away.
Yeah, again, I feel like still asking names, being polite, and doing all of that is maybe a little bit more sus than you would have thought. So maybe just a little bit more brooding, a little bit more commanding.
Do you want me to go pick a fight with someone?
Well, no, not pick a fight. Just, what's your name? How are you? Like, making conversation like that. Maybe that doesn't fly here.
I have an idea then. Finch is gonna start walking this way.
Okay.
Do I notice anyone like that stands out in this crowd?
I would say they all kind of appear normal. I would say the two half ogres, just because of their sheer size, stand out. But nobody particularly stands out. The person you saw earlier, the like kind of like cloaked figure you saw earlier, they stood out, but they're gone. You don't see them anywhere.
When we got a look over this side, did I notice anyone there?
There's nobody over here. Nobody's like, I guess there's this guy over here, but I mean, nobody's over there. Hey,
Yeah, okay.
I will also just mention that, like, for a tavern, this place is very quiet. Like, there's not many people talking, and if they are talking, it's in low whispers, and, like, it's in low whispers, you know, like, nobody's saying anything too loud. There's the occasional, like, thud of, like, you know, somebody, like, putting a drink onto the table or something, but it's very quiet.
Do I, from my background, have any knowledge of, like, what kind of things you'd say, like, thieves can't code there is to, like, say, hey, I'm looking for buy information or something?
Yeah, I would say you could negotiate your way around that much. I'm not going to attempt to, like, I guess, like, the sparrow flies at midnight, he looks for eggs, you know, I guess maybe that'd be, I don't know. Listen, I don't speak...
Special wine.
I will let you determine what you would say, but yeah, you can negotiate your way around, like, that kind of thing. Like, basic thieves can't, you probably could figure out.
Go up and just the person beside me motion to the barkeep to buy a drink for them as well as myself.
Okay, how loud do you say this?
Very hushed.
Very hushed. Okay. He'll look at you a little confused, and he'll oblige though. He'll pull down two like big old things of wine, and he'll plonk one down in front of you, and he'll give you a couple of like mugs to go with it. And he'll kind of keep the other one underneath the counter, and he'll just kind of like motion for you to do it yourself.
That's fair. I'll pour myself a glass as well as the guy next to me. And I guess just these can't either like how you position the drink or something. I don't know. These can't just kind of indicate that I'm looking for information and willing to pay.
Upon offering that, give me 1 second to pull up something. Actually, no. For now, they won't say anything. All I would say is like this guy will say, if it's information you're looking for, you're best speaking to Braun.
Where can I find this Braun?
He'll gesture towards the kitchen, and he'll say, "Just take a right. They'll be in there."
Okay, insight check this guy.
Yes.
Please roll. Ooh.
He seems very suspicious. And you don't know who Braun is, but I mean, everybody here seems suspicious, and you have the overwhelming urge to not trust anybody here. But that might just be, your background with these people talking. You honestly don't know.
With a natural 20?
I would say, I mean, like, you think he's telling the truth. I mean, like, you don't know who Braun is, so it's hard to tell if he's lying about this Braun guy or not.
I'll just quickly finish my glass, and start heading back.
Okay.
And just kind of very, very quietly message Vesper. Lady O, if you hear screaming, it's probably me.
Noted.
And as you round the corner, the creaking floorboards kind of give you away, but you do see the same figure you saw earlier, hunched over a desk, furiously scribbling on a piece of paper.
Hello there.
They'll spin around, and they'll kind of like almost like hiss at you, and they'll say, "What is it?"
I'm looking for some information. I was told by someone that I might be looking for a person named Braun. Would that happen to be you?
He'll sigh, and he'll look like horribly angry, and he'll say, "Yes, that is me. But what is it you need?"
We recently got here, and I'm looking to learn more about the town. There's a strange domain. Do you know anything about it?
He'll say, "The town is going through a bit of a transformation. It's nothing you need to concern yourself with, traveler."
I make some kind of check to see if this is a vampire.
Yeah. Like a religion check. Religion or Arcana.
20?
Yeah. This guy, like, you look at his teeth. Dead giveaway. Definitely some kind of vampiric thrall.
Really? Because I'm curious. I know that this is generally the sort of thing you find with vampires, but I've heard that only very powerful vampires could manage this.
He'll just kind of look a little, like, annoyed, really, and he'll say, "Well, powerful beings, they rest everywhere in this realm. It's nothing unusual."
That's fair, that's fair. If you don't mind my asking, I am a avid storyteller and bard. I love to travel and speak of what I see. I find myself having leaning towards the darker side of things. I can't help but notice that you yourself are a vampire, though a thrall. Is there any chance I could meet with your master?
He'll look like incredibly impressed that you were able to determine that much, and he'll shake his head no, and he'll say, "Simply acknowledging that fact could get you killed."
Then it sounds like a story worth hearing. I mean, surely there are more of you. Maybe I could interview them.
Give me a perception check with, or not a perception check, but with a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Yeah, that's fair. Nice gods, please.
He'll look at you and he'll say, "Well, I could take you to him, but what? I need good purpose. An interview. He's busy. He can't have time for an interview. What would you need with him?"
Well, he's a powerful vampire lord, is he not? Surely he wants songs written about him, stories, just inspire fear and loyalty. His prowess.
He'll relent a little bit, and he'll nod and he'll say, "Fine, just wait here, and he'll open this door here, go through.
Immediately whisper message Vesper. I found a vampire thrall. I think I'm about to meet with their master. Things escalated. What do I do?
Go for it. I'll follow. If you leave the building. But if you're in the building, I'll stay. And I'll just listen.
I'm in the building currently behind the stage.
I'll message her back. Well, if you go upstairs, let me know. I can Misty Step as far as I can to get to you.
All right.
Okie dokie. And after a moment, you hear the fluttering of wings, and the door opens, and a small imp comes out and perches itself atop this rack of clothes. And you hear a voice, kind of like a country bumpkin style voice, come from the mouth of the imp. Although its mouth movements don't match what it's saying, it'll say like, "Well, howdy, stranger. What
motherfucker.
What can I do for you?"
Would I know if this guy was that we had met originally was like a vampire's thrall?
The guy, like your country bumpkin friend with the hats?
Yeah.
I would say you weren't suspicious of him at the time, so you weren't paying close attention to like his teeth or anything. So I would say unless you saw him again, it'd be difficult to determine like vampire or not.
Grateful for the disguised self at the moment. I'll give a polite bow. I am a traveling bard investigating the less bright and shiny end of the world, and I've been told there's a powerful vampire lord here with thralls and even enough strength to impose such a domain of dread in this area. I was hoping to speak with him, so I might spread the word of his glory.
You will see the imp, kind of like it will like begin to like pace back and forth along the rack of clothes. With each step, it kind of begins to like knock some dust free. But it will again, its mouth movements do not match the words it's saying, but will say, I don't know. I'm a busy man. I've got a lot going on, and I mean, it would it be worth my while? I mean, I don't know.
Well, surely you have needs like gold and riches, imagine what fame could bring you. Loyal, powerful servants coming to train under you or serve you or even simply ride the wave of your rise to power.
When you mention fame, that's when he kind of begins to be like, well, I mean, I guess I could meet with you. I mean, like, you know, I am busy and everything, but I mean, I could spare 15, 20 minutes to, you know, talk with someone lowly like you. Yeah, I could do that. Just don't stir up any trouble in the meantime, and I'll be there shortly.
All right. Do you mind if I bring my assistant with me?
He'll look you up and down, and you'll just see the imp nod, and after the imp nods, it will simply just vanish in a kind of puff of like infernal smoke.
Message Vesper. Hey, I told him you're my assistant. He's gonna be here shortly. Come over here, I think.
You're upstairs?
No. If you hop onto the stage, then there's a door behind it. Just head back.
I'll
Alright.
shift my head towards the stage to Ava Cat and make my way back there, and I'll pull out my journal and a pen, just like, you know, making it look like I'm gonna take notes on whatever is about to go down
Okay.
as her assistant.
Alright.
Avocat makes a motion like, should I follow you or should I stay here?
Avocat. I love that name.
Stay or should I go now? If I go, there will be trouble.
I'll whisper to Avocat, stick to the shadows, and then I'll go.
If I stay, there will be double.
Avocat will find like a nearby shadowy place. Maybe he'll just sit here, laying below the lip of the stage, watching that mouse hole.
Okay. Alright. Alrighty. I think we're gonna call it there, gang. I think that's the session.
I destroy one of this man's house. I'm gonna destroy all of them.
Well, first we have to see how many people we're going to be taking on, or if we're just going to do vampires only and get out of here. Like, I just want to do as less damage as possible so that we don't have to go through 30 rounds of combat.
New fighting sim unlocked. Vampires only.
On the good news, they're not suspicious. Than they could be.
Suspicious than they could be.
I say we take them all on then. Oh my god. For a fairy who only does 2 spells and then he like retreats the entire rest of the fight. Yeah, right, we're taking all of them on.
I can't wait for someone else to do something incredibly destructive, and then Jack just yells, "Yes, under my leadership, that is what's possible."
Trips on. Little baby Eldritch blasts.
Okay.
Aww.
Helio's not even there to help, so.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Helio's not here.
It's okay. I prepared Wall of Fire today, and there's no way that's going to go wrong.
Wow. This is a wooden building, right?
Yeah, mostly.
There's no way that's going to go wrong.
Don't worry, I have hideous laughter.
Follow the burning flames, Helio. Follow the burning.
And gust of wind.
There's no way this could go wrong. I promise. No way.
Not in the slightest.
Well, till next time.
Yes. Farewell, goodbye.
Thanks for playing, everybody.
Everybody.
Good night.
Thanks for running. Thank you, everybody.
Oh wait, Kay's not going to be here next week also?
Yes, I think for the
Okay.
I think next week she's not going to be here.
I might actually not be here either. I have
Dun, dun, dun.
I have 2 exams starting next week, one on Thursday and one on Wednesday, and
Okay. Works for
I
me.
sleep.
Works for me.
Well, if Kay and Kirsten aren't going to be here, should we just cancel it? Because I feel like Finch would be like a real big.
Yeah, we might cancel it. I don't
part
know.
of
We'll
what's
see
about to
we'll
happen.
see what we can do. I might. What I might do is we might do the like questioning a vampire friend in the chat and then see where that takes us. You know, like a text-based questioning of vampire friend, and if vampire friend goes along peacefully, then you know, everything's fine. If vampire friend ends up fighting you guys, then fighting we can do when people aren't here. Like, fighting's not that big a deal. We'll see. I don't know. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Worst comes to worst, we skip a week. I'm not gonna nickel and dime you for D&D.
Night night.
Bye,
Good night.
everybody.
Thank you.